Hello, and welcome along to episode. Let's fix your face. Sorry, Mark. Well, all the way over there. Let's bring you all the way over here. Fantastic. Now there's a whole new person, not only half a new person. Well, no, there was just like there was just a cheat. We have a new player. Isn't that exciting? This is Mark. Mark, say hello.
Hello.
Ah, fantastic.
James, you've
yes?
not transitioned.
What do you mean?
You're still on the starting soon screen.
You're on the starting soon screen and on the starting soon.
No, he's not.
But just so that we can be professionals, we'll pretend that you never said anything, and we'll just start again. Hello, and welcome along to an episode 20 of Elsewhither, Tales of the Unchained. Today we have a new player. It's Mark. Look at Mark. Say hello, Mark.
Hello, I'm Mark.
Exciting. Fantastic. Okay, cool. When we left off last episode, we had just ditched the old Cleric to make space for the new one. But what else happened last episode? Can anybody tell me where last episode started? Not sure I can
we were fighting an evil death.
Oh yeah.
And
you had just entered the room.
Yes.
Oh,
You were in the boss chamber
Yeah.
of the of a certain cultist lair. Can anybody tell me what the cultists were called?
Black Angels, I think.
The Black Angels is true. And when you beat them up, they all went off to their slightly not really a goddess. And you came up victorious to celebrate your victory. And you entered into the tavern, is that correct?
Technically, in universe, I mean, in the map, we had to bounce through several buildings, but yes,
It's very true.
We came up into the tavern.
What did we do in the tavern?
well, I think the first thing we did was inform the townsfolk, or inform the mayor that there was a little cult lair beneath their very feet.
At which point you then went and inspected the different bodies, and you noted that one was one of the bodies that had been killed was a traveler that had passed through not that long ago, but that none of the cultists were any recognizable. And then you sort of told them, yeah, you really did have a cult there going on under your town. They thanked you for decultificating them. You get any cool loot in the boss fight? You did, right? Give me some cool loot.
Got heaps of cool loot.
Heaps of spells. Yeah.
Oh me. Anybody want to mention any of the specific stuff they got? Oh, there was a scythe. I know that. It's.
Yeah, there was a big.
There was potions of mind control. There was a Willy Wiggs time stopper. There was some ritual daggers. There was a battle standard of infernal power. There was a pot of demon skin.
What was special about the battle of infernal power? Perhaps I might ask Rico specifically.
There was a closet imprisoned in it.
Sure, that's quite standard for battle stands of infernal power.
Yeah.
You were told you might be able to adjust its magic.
Oh, that's right. We could adjust its magic to like
give you benefits against demons instead.
Exactly.
And in fact, you're not sure how much, but it would give you a plus to hit against demons if parried, provided you took it to a temple for cleansing. You were advised that the little tiny temple around the corner is in the town is probably not
ill-suited for that. Yeah.
Neither is Corrie Stumblebump. I'm just letting you know right now. Not a priest who can cleanse a standard of infernal power. Anyway, Jack, so rude of me to interrupt you. I think you'd got up to a pot of demon skin. Is that right?
Yeah, no, you're good. Yeah, pot of demon skin. A rod of thought projection.
Yep.
Yeah.
Medium, sorry. Josh, did I do that?
It's light.
It's light, isn't it? Yeah.
Josh,
You did.
Okay, cool.
You did.
Next. Go.
Yes.
Rod of thought projection. A symbiotic tentacle whip. And then the soul searing scythe.
Cool. So lots and lots of cool, useful loot. Well, not sure how useful some of it is.
Not so useful, but
very
cool,
useful,
sure.
just not for you guys. But yes, and then once you'd looted and booted and suited and tooted, and tooted your own horn in the tavern and gone, we did the things. Where next?
Is that when you became homeowners?
Yeah, you did. The mayor offered you a room, but instead, Eileen.
Oh, that's right, Eileen.
Said, no, I still want to leave, right? And you got Daddy's house. What was Daddy's name? Anyone? I like asking this every week.
Gallon.
We can
Gallon.
never quite remember. Me neither, friend. Okay, this guy's dead now, but hey, there he is. Yeah, he's going to be publicly executed. You can attend if you want. In the car
It's a
room.
bit morbid.
Yeah. They don't. The method of execution in Maz 2 is a fairly simple one. They just hang you.
Well, considering that we're escorting Eileen, would Eileen want to attend her father's execution? Yeah, I don't think
Wants
so.
nothing more to do with him.
We don't have to stick around either.
Not find anyone in these DMs. I've got fucking 6 billion people who don't matter. Anyway, so you can attend the execution if you wish, or not. And beyond that, what happened after you met Eileen?
I mean, she did give us all the potions as long as we're talking about loot. Those elixirs,
that's true.
experimental.
Corrie, you can have those too, which is one each of the 4 experimental elixirs. Okay. Yes, I had to do a thing.
Rheawynne left. She
Yes,
said that adventuring was not the life for her.
No.
I think.
Yeah, because
Right.
frankly, Jay's just a bit too busy. That was
Yeah.
So we did roll the
Yeah.
goodbyes. Rheawynne went back to Mazrea. And one thing
Yeah.
that Rheawynne will do in this process, which got you a little bit of XP, is inform D'Souza and Ashleen, the 2 merchants who run shops that was broken into, that there was a identity bodlin for the Tabaxi thief, and that at least some of their goods were here, and they could come and collect them from the cannons. You guys didn't ever go down to the coast to see if there was more there, which was entirely my fault. I didn't let you. But if you did want to now go down the coastal path during the next 3 or 4 days, just to see if there's any sign of because obviously you found that little boat, which was like an escape boat that goes down the river, but it would go out to the sea, which is really not far from Maztu. But you could potentially go down to the docks. Good morning, Naomi. And it's not a great time for a book read, if we're being deadly honest.
Hey, you never stop a kid from reading a book because they will stop forever. You do everything you can. Just my rule.
Regardless, you guys can go down to the coast and see if there's anything down there at all worth noting at some point. And after that, you guys say goodbye to Arlene, and we're told that you would have to sequester in the town to recover from your diseases. Sad. What kind of disease? Wow, diseases do you guys have? Please inform us.
Evil cult diseases.
Specifically -6s, I think, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, baby.
-6 to saving.
Oh,
That's probably not a good thing. To
That
leave
must
down
be
with.
terrible.
And attack rolls. Don't forget that.
Yeah. I will say that we do have person
I imagine
that
it
can
just
remove them.
manifests as nausea and diarrhea.
Yeah, and spasms when you're
Oh,
attacking.
no, we don't.
Yeah,
Diarrhea
yeah.
doesn't exist in this world. It's a horrible thing. Instead, it just manifests as chronic weakness. However, we do have a Paladin. Am I right in saying you can remove a disease with 5?
I can with 5
5 HP
ticks.
from your.
You'd have-
5
How
HP.
many ticks would you have at any given time?
I have 25.
Yeah.
Right. So you'd have to remove layer by layer. So you could perhaps cleanse yourself. I think you've got no ticks because you're immune. You could perhaps
I'm
cleanse,
immune, huh?
like Pietro of 3 or 4 ticks, and then
3 for Pietro.
and then like maybe a couple off of Boxxo. But even so, it would take at least a couple of days rest within the town.
Yeah.
Most of which will be spent in a tavern.
Does the poison part go away?
Yes, it lasted a minute.
Okay, I thought so. Just hadn't clicked it.
So when you guys had settled into Galen's home, you decided to return to the tavern for some peaceful dinner, and you had been told that a cleric had recently stumbled into town. And indeed, as we enter the local tavern... No, that guy's headless. that? Wrong place. There we go. No? Well, it'll do. Not what I was looking for, but it'll do. Fantastic. Here we go. As you step into the local tavern, many of the townsfolk are there celebrating. They've had a cult eradicated from one of their town. They've been saved from goblins. Ooh, a quick note on goblins before we say hello to Corrie Stumblebump. I did mention that it wasn't a great idea to go seeking the goblin hideout. But the level you needed for that was 5. You just needed to finish underground getting the story of Bodlin. So if you do want to go seeking a goblin hideout, I'm no longer saying no as a DM. I'm not. God is not holding you back. Only your own self-belief, courage, and lack of skills.
I think that's what we should do next.
Great. Maybe we'll talk about that later because I'm hoping you might maybe also head somewhere else. Yeah. In the meantime, when you come in, you will see a cleric who you haven't met before. Mark, why don't you tell us what that cleric looks like?
Yeah, so Corey is, on the shorter side. He is a Kender. He's about 3.5 feet tall. Kind of shaggy hair. Not much that he does with it. He's kind of simple in appearance. Really just like road clothes sort of thing. Like he does have armor underneath his cloak. He's wearing a dark blue cloak that has little constellations on it and is affixed with a copper star in the middle of it.
Mm.
And he's quite a chatty fellow, is that right? Is he probably, making good with the locals, or is he sitting shyly in a corner? What do you think? What is he?
Given that there's a lot of activity going on, it seems like something like really just happened. He is kind of laying low a little bit. He's not sure like why everybody's in a really good mood. Kind of as I came into town, it looked like a lot had been going on. Like there had definitely been some battles recently. But I haven't really gotten the story as to like what happened or why everybody is in a good mood. Kind of expect everyone to be in a bad mood after a big event like there's scorch marks around and sort of thing. So I'm just trying to like figure out what I'm walking into, because it does seem like a very small town where I'm going to be instantly noticed as an outsider.
Yep, people have noticed you and welcomed you in and offered you an ale and not much else, and a couple of people have asked your name, but beyond that, the only thing you've got so far is that they won.
Okay.
And it's all thanks to some other guys who aren't here. And then there's a huge cheer, woo! As these 4, as you guys head into the tavern, literally people make a little arch with their hands for you to walk through, which Toothy has to duck the whole way through. Like there's little bit of celebration going on. There's a really badly decorated cake in the middle of the tavern. There's a huge banquet of stuff that you can see that like different townsfolk have brought food together. And you would know that not only is this banquet in your honor, but it's also a chance for the townsfolk where some of their homes have been burnt or have been broken in some ways. It's a chance for the townsfolk to sort of come together and have a meal together, where some people might have less or have been put in a situation where a meal at home is difficult. So there is that. But yeah, as you guys come in, you will notice immediately this Cleric sort of sat to the side. And one random person will just sort of look up and go, "Have you met Corrie?" And just point and give you no further information. Just so that you can't possibly avoid your new companion.
I guess a tall Toothy, because we keep on getting confused on this. Where I portray him as being a short king, and you consider him tall every time.
Tall.
You're so sad. I guess it's just happened. I guess throughout his journey, he's just grown.
Do you know what it is? He's still quite short, but his banner sticks up high. And so I always think of him as taller than he is. Yeah, I think you might, even a short Toothy might still be the tallest in the party. Obviously Boxxo is a minute. Maybe Pietro. What are you, like 5'9"?
Pietro is like a little, like a 6 foot, basically.
Yeah. Maybe it's Pietro that they couldn't quite get their hands over. And then Vel'zekiss, I would assume, is sort of in the 5 foot.
Yeah, he's hunchy, so because he's a weird shape.
I'm sure if he was straight out, he'd be the tallest, though.
Yeah, if we straightened Vel'zekiss lengthwise,
Like tail to head, yeah.
along the floor.
Yeah, I wrote 5'7", I think, but I was thinking that would be short. Like he's
5'7"
meant to
is
be
relatively
shorter than people for sure.
Cool. And so you guys
Yeah, I imagine Toothy is 5'6".
Great. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah,
Okay.
Pietro,
And he's squat,
the tall,
and he's fat.
renamed Pietro the Tall. As you walk through, they look at you, and this random girl just goes, "Have you met Corrie?" And then points.
Pietro is still reeling from disease, so he'll be like, "No, who's a Corrie?"
I awkwardly turn from my table. Hello, I'm Corrie. You must be the people
I'm still looking
that's
up,
caused
and
the
then
celebration.
suppose you could say that.
Well, I would drink to your health, but it looks like you don't have an ale yet.
He doesn't have health either.
Oh no. What happened to your health?
I'm like Pietro's gonna stumble over to some sort of seat he's sick of standing and have this conversation. It's a lot to explain. Running with an evil cult, magical powers, so on and so forth.
Understand. I'm glad that you made it out on the other end of that. As I said, my name is Corrie, and you are?
My name is Pietro di Rocco. And these are my traveling companions. They may introduce themselves. And
Well, they may
Pietro's
not.
out of breath. Pietro's already out of breath, so he'll just.
Yeah.
We'll assume that names are given.
Okay. You don't seem like you are part of this town. Are you perhaps traveling together?
Well, yeah, I'm from the west.
You're from the Savage West?
Well, I mean, like,
Beyond
we
the
don't call
borders?
it that.
Just the West, if you prefer.
My apologies. I've only ever heard it called Savage Lands. But I guess I understand that being from there, you would not consider yourself a savage. That is my fault. I'm terribly sorry. Tooth and Claw, was it?
Oh, you can just call me Toothy. But nah, it's all good. No worries. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, you just like. I know the little dragon people can be really small. You're like really small as well. Can everyone be really small?
Just a reminder, Jack. There is
No.
at least 3 halflings in this town, but don't worry about it.
I don't know what Kenders look like. Do they just look like halflings?
I think about halflings with pointy ears.
Yes.
Oh, there you go.
So very similar to halflings, just slightly different in appearance, and manners. But
I assume he's an elf then. A small elf.
Just a young elf, it would seem. That I do believe you are the Vel'zekiss. Is that correct?
Last time I checked,
He knows him.
I suppose.
When
it's
was the
always
last
good
time
to
you
find-
checked?
When I was young, we used to have one of your posters nearby our beds, and we always wondered if you were quite as pompous as the poster made you sound to be.
I can assure you he is.
Thank you.
No offense. We were young kids. Like it was just the jokes you tell yourself at night.
I never take offense to the fact that I speak the truth about my own powers.
Indeed, the poster did mention great powers. We were not able to catch the show. It was an old thing. You had passed through Mazrea many days before we noticed the poster, and it was there for a few years, but never got the chance to do something as frivolous as seeing one of your shows.
I never do anything that frivolous anymore myself. I've moved quite beyond it. As you can see, to real displays of power.
Indeed, defeating a cult seems like it would take quite a bit of power.
And the giants and goblins and smugglers.
That is quite the list. You are very formidable. I don't suppose I could impose and ask which direction you might head out of town, unless that is that you are taking residence here now that you have saved them from their evils.
I suspect there's another town out there that can offer us an even nicer house.
Becoming a bit of a landowner, that is nothing I ever hoped that I could afford.
Well, I've heard of this tower out in the sea that sounds quite appealing, but until at least another story or two for now on the house would be nice.
The other new Josh. In Soulforge, there was a Sorcerer's Isle with a tower. And
Nice.
No matter what we did, the answer was always, can we go to the Sorcerer's Tower now? The character wasn't even meant to know existed, only Josh knew it because he'd seen the map. But yeah, I mean, you definitely could go collecting property. I'd probably leave that Sorcerer's Tower to the bit.
But I can walk on water, and I could just leave and go. Yeah. Now, yes, I believe we're heading further to the west, as you had mentioned before.
So I ask because, and I don't mean to impose upon you, but I have reason to travel to the west. There is a mystery that eludes me, and everything that has been told to me along the roads over my years tells me that I myself am not equipped to go there alone. So I've been making my way back to Mazrea in hopes to join up with a crew that might be heading that way. And I am quite useful. I know that I am smaller than you, and I may seem insignificant, but I promise you, if you would but allow me to travel with you, I could provide aid for you. I would very much like to head out to the west to work on this. It is most vexing.
Surely it is the solution that eludes you. If the mystery itself eludes you, you might be more aimless than even we can handle.
But it is both a mystery in itself and the solution I do not know. For I have come into a possession of an artifact that, while seems quite useful and meaningful, I do not understand it.
Do you have it here with you?
Yes, I do. I don't know if it would be best to present it in its fullness here within such a crowded room, as it might startle the people. But Corrie kind of pulls out a music box. It's a dark wood music box. It's not very big. Easily kind of fits in a pouch. And he explains, this music box was given to me by a dear friend, and I always assumed that it was broken. But it turns out that I just was unable to hear it. And thus part of the mystery lies in that. But everyone else that I talk to hears the music inside of them. And as you can see, it would be unwise, in my opinion, to open it in such a crowded inn, as everyone would be very confused when sudden music sprung upon them. And they are having a lovely time as it is. But I do not understand how it plays the music, and why I am unworthy of the music.
Does everyone hear the same thing?
From my understanding, no. My friends have described individual music, and over the years, I have asked other people what they hear, and I have never heard the same answer before. So it seems that it changes for the listener. The listener who does not hear anything audible. And I know that it came from the west. my friend was I apologize, Tooth and Claw. He was part of the war, but when he came back from fighting, he had it with him, and he did not know its origin.
That's all right. You don't have to apologize. My dad said apparently a lot of people who fought in the war didn't really know why they were fighting.
It is one of the tragedies of war. Many people are sent off to battle and kill and be killed, but it's often not for their own gain. And then they come back to their homes and their villages, and nobody seems to want them or care for them anymore.
I have a question. You said landowner? What does that mean?
Well, are you not in possession of housing?
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh, because the townsfolk that they came in said that you had taken over the alchemist's old home, and that it was to be yours now. Is that not true?
I don't think we own the land though. We
Oh,
probably have
you are
to
merely
pay
staying
tax.
there.
No, but you can't own the land.
You can.
Oh, trust me, many rich men have told me that they own the land and that I am not allowed to be there.
You might not be allowed to. You might not be allowed to be somewhere, but you can't own land. The land's a land. The land like owns itself.
That's not true, Toothy.
Huh?
Perhaps this is different in our cultures.
In the east, Toothy, the king owns all the land, and you effectively rent the land from the king, and you pay him a taxes.
I do just want to
So,
make some legal clarification so that you guys are
Yep.
aware of what is the
I'm just
correct
going by, like,
in this area. This is why Rico tells you that is kind of true, but not here. Further east, where there's actually a king, there is no king.
Well, I was probably thinking about, yeah.
So if you guys remember, there is. Let me just get us on the Gallania map. There are different regions based on their primary city. Mazrea is one of the only regions that, because of the war, has extended beyond its own primary region. But if you were to look like down at Lahas, down in the bottom left, sorry, like there'd be a region like this where the Duke or Emperor of Lafas, the person who he owns the Lafas region. There are, however, some landed nobles or individuals who have purchased the land within that region that they live on, but these are very few and far between. Certainly if you're in a town like Maztu, the land is owned by whoever is in charge of Mazrea, which is currently up for grabs, but previously was the Emperor. And indeed, you can own the home that's upon the land, but you cannot own the land because the Emperor owns it. Ironically, Josh, you're from the south of Dargle Imvar. Where
I think
in
I'm
this
from
area,
Davos.
in this area, sort of not including Olvos, but sort of in the surrounding area of Dargalimvar, the city is the only thing that's owned. So you do indeed purchase the land and the home upon it. So your family would have owned the land that they live on, but you have to ask permission to farm the land up in Mazrea lands. So I know that's way more complicated than you guys are getting into, but Rico is about to tell you things that just might not be true.
Probably not true, yeah.
Some people don't
Fuck.
know
I
that.
really don't know which fucking picture of a town.
Pietro will relay the correct information.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah,
of course he
yeah.
will. Yes, so you can
He's
own
very
land
wise on that.
sometimes.
But
I don't
like,
expect you to understand, but this is the way of the East.
I think that's the most bizarre thing out of everything. I think that. Anyway, you said the music box. I don't know. What is it like? Does it have like a little thing inside that sings? I don't understand.
Well, I guess if we quickly open it here, maybe the rest of the group will not notice.
We could go we could go underneath. We could go in the caves. And then
Don't worry.
Well,
Just do it. It'll be fine. I'll take care of it.
And so he opens up the box, and there's no audible noise that comes out of it. We still just hear the tavern kind of going about.
Except you also hear a bunch of little firework noises, as Vel'zekiss just takes this moment to just sort of welcome in the adulation of the crowd and make little fireworks in the air, so that if anybody hears weird music in their head, they assume that he's just affecting them with music.
So do you hear anything?
I will say that each of you will hear something that it is totally up to you what you hear, but will give you some sense of the feeling of home. Now, home doesn't necessarily mean where you grew up, especially if you're somebody who didn't grow up somewhere they were happy. But a sort of a comforting... I mean, home may even be the road. Thinking particularly of Vel'zekiss, traveling is sort of when he's been at his most peaceful. So whatever your character interprets as a feeling of home, warmth, or comfort. Is that correct, Mark? Is that...
Yes. Yep.
Cool.
The Toothy, do you hear it?
Yeah, it's a corroboree. I know what it is.
What is a corroboree?
It's a dance. We gather around in a big circle, and we with our instruments and that, and we tell stories but we sing the stories. It's like it's singing of the Great Emu and the Rainbow Serpent.
Wow. And you see Corrie kind of quickly take out a piece of paper and a pen to make down quick notes as he's been collecting the different descriptions that people have given him over the years, and he's adding an entry here for Toothy and what he hears. Thank you for sharing. Did anyone else? Did you all hear something? And you don't have to describe it.
I slowly nod my head.
Okay.
Pietro is smiling. He'll also nod his head.
Yes, it was almost as if the magic I was doing finally had the accompaniment it deserves.
With a grateful smile, Corrie will kind of close the box up again to kind of end it, confirming that you all heard something and now understand what the box does. He's kind of shyly putting it away again.
As you close the box, Boxxo is I'm very noticeably sad as you stop it playing.
Oh, put it on again. I want to dance. I haven't done this since I was a teenager. It's sort of like a rite of passage type thing where you get to join in.
It's wonderful. I'm glad that it was able to give you a bit of comfort and remind you of happy times in your life. Myself, I hear nothing. The box has never played music for me. I always assumed that it was broken, but over the years, I wonder if I am broken somehow.
Have you not had happy memories?
Well, I have happy memories. There were times as a child where Coffer and I were happy, and many times upon the road as an adult traveling to different communities and helping them. I have lived a happy life, I would say.
Well, I guess if we travel far enough west and we go to my homeland, you could hear what I actually hear.
That would be lovely. Would you consider taking me with you?
Yeah, of course.
Well,
That sort of
not so
depends.
fast, dude.
Wait, why not? But he
So
can hear the box noise. It'll be exactly the same. We're just going to tell the right story.
Young Colby, if you would give us a few moments to speak amongst ourselves.
Of course. And so Corrie will kind of step away from the table and head over to the bar and
We're actually
awkwardly keep looking back over.
We're actually going to follow you there as you head over to the bar. A woman approaches you. She is fairly muscular, and she sort of wears an eye patch, and she's got sort of fur over her shoulder. She's not currently wielding weapons, but she looks like this. The rest of the group would know her as Volya, but you don't. You just know her as a woman.
Yep.
She looks down at you, and she sort of reaches a hand down and puts it on your shoulder. Begging your pardon. Someone said you were a priest of sorts, Cleric?
Oh, yes. I follow the ways of the constellation, and I am some skill in the clerical arts.
Good. Not looking for a goddess, just looking for some healing. That's something you can do. Carlene's, she's expended everything she's got since the fight, and well, I've got this gash, you see, and it keeps coming back open again. And if you guys remember, she was basically drinking and dying simultaneously. So she sort of looks at you, and my home's only a couple of doors down, maybe you can. I don't need to be somewhere separate. I don't know if you needed to look and stuff.
Most assuredly, I could help heal you. Give me one moment here, and so then I will cast Cure Wounds on her.
And as you do so, go ahead and give me a healing roll, or just roll that for me. Do first level Cure Wounds in this?
Second level.
19 healing.
Hey.
This sort of goes over and you can see it's a lot better. Although, she sort of pulls her shirt down a little bit, and you can see there's still open wounds. She was missing 65 hit points, so she sort of looks at you and, if you've got anything else, Cleric, really appreciate it. And I will let you carry on. It doesn't matter what you expend, you're going to long rest before you leave. But part of the benefit of this, of course, is that your group is sat over there watching you do the healing things. And we will now resume with the group absent of the music box.
Can I ask what your magic looks like?
Yeah, sure. I should have asked that. Sorry.
Yeah. So the Cure Wounds is very subtle. You just kind of see a bright burst of a starlight from my hand as I am reaching out and touching her, just because it is a very contact oriented spell that I'm casting upon her.
Cool.
I will say that most of you, perhaps with the exception of Toothy, have probably experienced what a Constellation Priest's music traditionally looks like. There may be differences. Certainly, you've probably not seen it done with quite so much competence on a regular basis, but yeah, you would have at least seen that sort of starry-natured magic is the theme, if you will. Anyway, the four of you sat at a table having a little discussion about Corrie. You will come to a compromise, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
I mean, yes, we sort of, as that happens, I think Vel'zekiss, looks back to the rest of them and just goes, well, all right, he has to go and make himself look capable and useful just before I get a chance to dismiss and insult him, but I still think it's strange that he wants to come along with us because he can't hear a box.
I think we should. I think we should bring him.
He's a cloak bearer, the sign of the constellations. He's a cleric, no doubt. We just lost our own. But Tutti, don't be so quick to trust someone you just met, huh?
But he had the music, which is he had the what? Okay.
And if that death priest down there sang you a ditty, you would allow him to take your soul?
No.
Such weird logic.
If he's saying you a thing you recognize.
No, but like this guy seems nice.
It sounds like even more than usual the magic is in the box, at least the part that's persuaded you. And could have taken that from anyone. But he does seem to have some ability. I'm sure we can drag him along with us at least as long as we have Eileen.
Oh, look, if he gets, if he tries to do anything, like, we got it. You know what I mean?
I just have no intention of becoming an omnibus company.
A what? A what?
A bus. The big cities, they call them buses.
So we all agree then. We take him.
Mm-hmm. I'll run on over, and I'll tap on your shoulder since we're probably like the same height. Excuse me.
Yes.
You can come with us.
Oh, that is wonderful. And I reach out to give Boxxo a handshake.
I give you a hug.
Okay. Will you give me a perception check?
Ooh. He's taller than he looks.
That's
I
20.
realize you're hugging his leg.
So as you come away from the hug, you notice that like everything within your pack has been rearranged. Like it's all there, but like clearly, as I've been hugging you, I've been like rummaging around in your backpack and like moving and like feeling things.
I don't think. I think even though Boxxo like fills you organizing his stuff, I think like he doesn't really pay too much attention. But you do, as he pulls away from you, you do hear him like whisper, "Thank you."
You're most welcome.
But you're not sure if he's talking about his bag or not.
For the record, he's not a chronic organizer. That is not what I don't think that's what Mark meant. He more just meant that he looked in your pack but didn't find anything worth stealing.
Sure, Boxxo doesn't say it like that.
He's not a like chronic thief either. He's just he's very interested in the things at hand and was checked to see what was around. So as we go back to the table, I call out, I almost forgot I can cook. Does that help?
It certainly doesn't harm.
Excellent. I do love to craft things and to make edible, delicious treats for everyone. I would be most happy to provide as we travel, as I know at the moment I may seem like a bit of a burden.
Question, do we have food supplies? Like, was Rheawynne carrying cooking stuff?
Yes.
I come with my own food supplies.
No, you come with Rheawynne's food.
Okay.
Yes, I have already transferred that all into Boxxo. I think maybe Corrie brought some bits of his own, but certainly Rheawynne's group supplies. You've now got them. They're in your character sheet.
You did say that you were a little under the weather with diseases. I imagine that we probably aren't setting out on the road at the moment, right?
Prefer to feel less nauseous than this, but if we must leave now...
Oh, no, not on my part. I am happy to stay here in town and see how I might be of aid of anyone while you recover. As you saw, that the very nice lady who was not at all terrifying to me had sustained some injuries, so perhaps there are others that I might be able to help here while we wait for you to regain your health.
Hey, do you know how to make damper?
What's a damper?
Damper's like, you get a bunch of seeds and nuts and stuff like that. You like smash it into a paste, and then you like turn it into like our like we don't have the same bread as you do. Like we got our own bread, and it's called like we call it damper, and so that's kind of how you make it. But I don't really know the rest of it. I know you smash it into a paste, but then I know like you put it by the fire somehow, and it turns into damper. I don't really know that part. Do you know that part?
I don't, and I would ask if you would teach me, but it seems that you don't know either. I would be happy to test with you at some point. Maybe we could discover the secrets together.
I think it's a secret, like just about everybody knows except for me, apparently.
Well, and me as well.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I sort of meant back west. I don't think anyone here knows how to make damper.
Oh, that is fair.
Vel'zekiss just wants to ask Volya to go along because she seems tougher than everybody, but I know that's not going to happen.
No, she's got a smuggling business to maintain. Cool.
How many days have we been here before? Like, this is the first day that we've come back.
The first
and
day you're
met
sequestering,
Corrie?
if you will.
So we're
So
chilling for
I
a bit.
think this is the morning or the afternoon after the fight with the Black Angels. So you would have long rested, which I think you guys should have done. So it's the following day, but it's sort of lunchtime onwards.
So I know that Toothy here comes from the west, and Vel'zekiss is well known to everyone. Pietro, where are you from?
I hail from the country Baldania, across the sea. Have you heard of it?
I have. I used to travel the coast in my younger days, and we had many ships that would come in from Baldania, delivering goods in between the continents.
I come from the homeland, amongst my Genasi brethren.
Are you famous there as well?
Not me personally, but suppose you could say my family is well known in my homeland.
Right.
I'm famous there as well.
So I'm told.
Yeah, but you're famous everywhere, Vel'zekiss.
It's a big world.
Well, tell us about yourself, young Corrie. We know so far as you come from Mazrea.
Yes. You mentioned family, and I wonder, have you ever seen any others that look like me on Baldania?
Clerics.
A couple.
No.
The answer is
No. The shorter, pointy-eared folk as myself. I believe we are Kender from the books that I read.
You're not an elf?
No. Are you an elf?
I don't think so.
I am.
You're an elf?
No, but isn't it obvious just like it wasn't for the others of you? My God.
I don't know.
No, I believe I am Kender from the books that I would find in the temples, but I grew up on the streets, and I did not have a family. I've never actually met another Kender myself. I was raised by, I would call her my sister, but Coffer was a dragonborn. She was not like me.
Did she cough a lot?
Well, you know how when you're younger you might do something and suddenly a nickname sticks with you and you can't get rid of it. There was a time when we were hiding and the guards were looking for us, and we were up in an attic, and suddenly she was beset upon by the most terrible cough. And, well, we got caught. And so from then on, I knew her as Coffer, and it kind of went along with her knowing me as Stumblebump.
Your last name's Stumblebump? That's a cool last name. That's
Well, it
literally how we get our names.
it is?
Yeah, like we go, like so when we're a teenager, it was before we do our first robbery, we go out and we go up on the sacred rock, and we like figure out things, and then sometimes we go on like we call it a walkabout, but it's sort of like I don't really know how to describe it. Sort of like a dream state, and then something happens to us, and then like it's each like different for us, and then like depending on what that thing is, that's how we get our names.
Here, I just tripped on a rock and hit my head on a countertop and became Stumblebump.
Yeah, I mean that's
much more dramatic.
No, but it's kind of the same thing though.
I guess it is.
Yeah, my one was I fought a big shadow beast.
That sounds intense.
Yeah, it was scary.
Yes,
What were you caught doing?
Acquiring things.
Elaborate.
We lived on the streets. We had a little alleyway that we bedded down in, and so each day we would go and find foods in the city, and perhaps other goods that wouldn't be missed. But somebody missed them and called the guards upon us on the day that Coffer got her nickname.
Oh, you had to learn that as well. I had to learn that as well. People don't just give you things that you need here.
No, indeed, they're very resistant to giving things out. It is most vexing at times, as they seem to have plenty, but they refuse to give it to anyone else.
Oh no! What's that? I don't understand.
It is called stealing.
Stealing? Well, yes.
Is that what you was doing before?
But only to survive. It was never for profit.
No,
and we were...
no. 5 minutes ago.
No. I was merely searching. I apologize. My hands tend to wander. I did not take anything from you. I promise.
I give you a suspicious look and start looking through my satchel to make sure everything's there.
May I assume, as our new wisdom-based cleric person, you have decent perception, perhaps even insight?
Yes.
Yours are probably pretty good. I haven't looked at your
Quite
stuff.
high.
So, between the conversation of just growing up rough and with sister, and then threatens stealing things, as Boxxo points this out, you and maybe even others, I don't know, everybody else's numbers, would certainly notice Vel'zekiss being very protective of one of the many leather pouches strapped across his body at his side, in a way that is probably unusual to the group.
Not me. I have like a negative.
Yeah, you might not notice.
You keep seeing, like, I keep glancing over at the pouch in mention. Like, I'm not making any movement of it, but now that I've noticed you, like, being slightly protective of it, I become fascinated with it. And so whenever I look at you, instead of looking at you in the eyes, like, my eyes drift down to that pouch anytime that I look over your direction.
Interesting.
I'm going to use my psychic whispers to establish a connection with Val.
I
And
thought you were gonna do everyone except me.
because I think I've got pretty good wisdom too, so I think I probably would have noticed. And as I do, I'll just like mentally say to you, you should make sure that there's a lock on that or something.
Thank you, Boxxo. Certainly wouldn't want anyone rummaging around in here.
Mm-hmm.
So how does that go? Oh, sorry, go ahead. Keep going.
I was just gonna say, and then as soon as we finish, I drop the connection.
So how does a common thief come to serve at the constellation?
Well, I guess I deserve the common thief. But you know, I had a decent enough life in Mazrea. But others had started taking notice in my skills, and there was one Lizardfolk in particular. I believe her name was Stress. It's been many ages since I've thought about her. She wanted to take me and bring her into her gang, and Coffer was always there to protect me and make sure that like they never accosted me. But one day Coffer was gone, and they came for me. I knew that I was in trouble, so I made for the city gates. But they told me that either I joined them or they would kill me, and they set about trying to do the latter until a door opened and I heard a shout, and there was an older dwarf, Den Miriam was his name, and he drove them away, and he healed me up and set me right, and then when I found out he was a priest of the constellation, he offered me a chance to escape the city as a way to find better pursuits in my life and to escape the very obvious and real danger that Trass's gang presented to me. And so he took me, and as I said, I used to travel the coast. He was a traveling priest, and for many years I went with him, going to the fishing villages along the coast and helping them in the ways that we could, and possibly acquiring some goods along the way, but only for helping others. I promise. I am not a thief. I'm not a thief. And he taught me of the constellation. He told me of their teaching and their ways.
Well,
Are you still hungry? Like, not like, you know what I mean? Like, do you still go without?
No, I am quite the accomplished chef, if I may say so myself. And you know that often when I settle into a city or a town, I can call upon others to help me gather some ingredients and then make a big meal for everybody. But I don't often go hungry on the road now.
Okay. What's a chef?
Oh, I like to make the most delicious of foods, and experiment and create things. I do love cooking, and so that is what I would call a chef, I guess.
Okay. My mum's a
I
chef.
don't have
though.
a formal kitchen. I don't. I've never worked in an inn. It is all things that I've picked up along the road.
Oh, do you need to work in a formal kitchen? I guess my mum isn't a chef.
Well, I sometimes feel like the innkeepers and the people that keep kitchens in the bigger buildings might have more skill than I do. For I have only taught myself and learned from those that I have encountered on the roads, but it seems like some of them have a more formalized training where they apprentice with someone first.
Oh, okay.
well, certainly there's a opportunity for you to acquire things along our journey.
And I do not take. I do my best to give in return for whenever I need something from somebody. They might not always know of my trade, but I do not steal. I do not steal.
If
Yes,
you're
you
taking
mentioned.
if you're taking something without someone's consent, that's stealing.
But they would not give me the consent, and they are very small things, and they're there for use. They are not for treasure or for hoarding of things. I use what I trade for.
And they probably need to use it too.
So often the things spoil and go sitting unused and gather dust if they're a tool. Like, people seem to have so much more than they actually need, and there are others around them that need, and they just won't give it.
That's not yours to decide.
This is true, and I have gotten many a punishment and driven out of towns for my actions, but there's some things that I cannot ignore. I do what I do, and I know that people don't agree with me.
Can you start buying the things? Do you have money? Do you have gold?
Oh, not much money. Usually just enough to put a roof over my head if it's a particularly bad storm. But most nights I sleep out under the stars. I'm not one for much material wealth. I find wealth in the people around me and the communities that I join in for small bits of time.
We have gold. You can just use some of ours and be like,
We kick Toothy for proclaiming we have gold.
Just
why'd you
immediately,
do that?
here's my gold.
Pietro, why'd you do that?
Toothy, what did I say about strangers?
He's not a stranger anymore.
Your friend is right, Tooth and Claw. I would hope for your own safety and well-being that you may not want to tell everyone that you meet that you are in possession of gold, whether it is large amounts or small amounts. For when people know this, they sometimes want to take it from you, and I have no interest in your gold. I do not wish for wealth's my own. I just try to provide for people that need things.
Well, we seem to collect gold. I mean, like, so if you come with us and we collect more gold, you can use that gold and go up to people about the things you want and be like, I'll buy that off of you. You can buy things with gold. I don't know if you knew how that worked, because I didn't know how that worked originally either, because it's a weird thing for me as well. I mean, like, normally where I come from is kind of, if you need something, you just kind of ask and people give it to you. But yeah, so any gold that if you come along, any gold that you get, you can then hopefully buy the things that you want to take.
I appreciate you, Toothy. I do understand the concept of currency. It has been a part of my life for a very long time. I guess until now, I've never had the opportunity to participate much in commerce, but I do appreciate that if I were to come into amounts of gold that I could make the purchases, that I could do them in ways that others agree are right, and not resort to my ways of trade. Of trade.
Yeah, we can make a note. You can make a little note of the things you want to give to people, So instead of taking the things from another person, we can eventually be like, okay, this person needs this thing, and then you go and buy that thing with the gold that we've made, and then we go back and we give it to them. Want to do that?
Yes, and Corey will kind of pull out a small pouch of stones that he has with him. In recent years, I have taken to giving a little stone to people that I need something of theirs, and so he'll reach into this bag and hold out this very beautifully tiny carved stone that looks like a little fish that is very intricately carved. And so I will leave them a little present like this for if I need to take a sack of potatoes from them.
Pietro, you're not a stone guy, but you're a stone guy. You know what I mean? Like you're into stone stuff. Not that you are a stone guy, but
Pietro
not
will look
that.
down at his rocky skin. I understand you.
Yeah. What do you like? Is it like is this like? I remember jewelry being a thing that people want to buy. Would this
Yes.
be like? I'm having a thought. Could we you could sell these?
I
And
will.
so to be very clear,
Coin... Yeah, go ahead.
go for it. They're like little soapstone chips that have been just carved with like a little like basic pointed chisel sort of thing, like just very like they are basically worthless. It's
Yeah,
just
the one that you took out, did you place it on the table, or is it just in your hand?
I'll place it on the table. Yeah.
Yeah. So Pietro will pick it up, like have a good look at it, bite it a little bit. No, this is worthless.
Oh,
And I'll toss it back on the table.
And you'll
Damn.
just see Corey just absolutely deflated as you call the stone worthless. And that was one of the better ones. Benny made that. My own creations are less impressive. And so he'll grab another stone out of the box, and it just like has the most crude like little smiley face on it. That's like a little like crooked on the smile and everything. Like it is clear that like it has been carved by somebody of a different hand. I do not have any skill with the stone. But I do leave them, and I hope that they bring joy to the people, and that they aren't too mad at me for the item that they are missing.
There's obviously nothing wrong with taking what you need to get by, as you've done in the past, but I think if you stay along with us and you manage to continue to heal wounds as we've just seen you done, you'll find that everyone will give you what you need, whether it's us or others, to the point that when you leave those stones behind, what they will do is remind people of the impressive displays they've seen as you pass through their lives.
Like posters?
That is a wonderful sentiment.
Yes, like posters.
Oh. Yes, as I said many times, I would not need to take on my own to provide for. I don't require much, but when I would find people that would return from the war and not have a place to stay or be grievously wounded from the battles, sometimes we would require a little extra to take care of them and get them set up. And so in those times, I would need to acquire the goods in trade to provide a warm and hearty meal to those that needed it.
Boxxo, you were saying before that like you're like really against sort of stealing, but like are you against like so am I, but like are you like against stealing to the point where if somebody like is starving, are you against stealing food?
I kind of look
from
nervously
somebody
at
who has too much food, like to the point where they're just like overfooded. I don't know the word for that.
Wait. So you're asking? So if they're both starving and there's someone who has too much, or is it just they're just starving and they just steal from anyone?
No. You're just stealing from somebody who has way too much.
Like Robin Hood or Aladdin.
Yeah.
Maybe more Robin Hood.
I think that I think that in that case there should be things in place by society to help those people.
But there aren't. So what do you do about it now?
Well, you try and reason with whoever makes those rules, or if not, try and appoint someone who believes in the same way you do.
What about if you have someone literally starving right then and there, and you're in a town and there's a rich guy in town and his house is just he's out for the day, and his house is stocked full of food, and all you're gonna steal is like a loaf of bread.
Why can't the tavern feed them?
Because we've seen the tavern don't give out free meals.
Then why can't they feed the starving person?
Okay. Well, what about if the tavern says no?
Well, then why? But by your logic and questioning, it should be okay for them to just steal from the tavern.
Does the tavern have too much?
Well, why does it matter if they have too much? It doesn't matter.
If you have enough,
to the starving person if they have too much.
It might, because if
I don't think if you're starving you have the morals to pick and choose where you get your food from.
I don't know. Have you ever been starving?
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't go around stealing from people.
Okay.
And
I'm
Corrie
sorry to ask.
chime in of, I agree with Boxxo that we should have systems in place that will take care of the people, and that there should be like official avenues that they are cared for and taught ways to provide for themselves. But unfortunately, it is really easy to ignore me, as I am a smaller person, and often they do, and it seems like it's very easy for communities to ignore the people that are on hard times, who don't have a home, who are out on the streets, perhaps begging for food. They are often seen as a blight upon the community, and people don't want them there. And so the systems aren't there in place to take care of them. And I do feel bad when we have to take, and we do try to teach people to make things and to find ways to feed themselves. But there are definitely times in the immediate where we do have to trade, and I don't see other options for. I can't go to an inn to buy them a meal because there are too many people and I don't have enough coin. But maybe as you said, I will have more coin and I can give it out to everyone that we meet, and help everyone that we meet along the road. As Vel'zekiss loves when we do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm actually thinking
Helping isn't as important as the impressing. They tend to just sort of shower you with things, but
yeah.
seems to me that by far the best solution is to simply make sure we're not the sort of people these questions come up for on a daily fucking basis.
Yes, but perhaps
Val or Joe who's sick of these moral issues.
No, I do it.
perhaps, Cleric, if we agree to take you with us, We keep the pilfering to a minimum, yes?
Yes, yes, of course. I would not want to tarnish anyone's reputation, or cause us any harm through my trades.
And
Acquiring.
rather than drawing the line between those who have too much and those who don't, I'd prefer to draw the line between those who are among us as a group and those who are not. So there may come a time, hopefully, anytime soon, where we seem to have too much. And I don't want you to think you can take my things just because we're doing so well.
And again, Corrie will glance very meaningfully at the pouch that you were somewhat protective of.
And I actually probably don't notice that because my insight's not good.
Okay, well, I'm glad we've decided not to steal from each other. That's progress. But I think at this point, we're going to take a short break, and we will be right back. Hello, and welcome back to the second half of Elsewhither. Hey Dan, welcome back to the Quack Quack for 21 months. That's amazing. You've probably left by now, but it's nice to see you anyway. Thanks for dropping by. These guys are in a tavern, or are they? Do you?
Corey's good. Corey's told enough about himself, but is there if anyone needs to ask more of him.
I think Pietro has accepted that we're going to take this guy with us.
Oh, so. Good. I'm glad. Sorry, didn't realize that was
just like, choice. Nope, bring in your next candidate.
His grilling is over. Is what I'm
next week, Mark, what will you be bringing?
It'll just be a really split party. One person who's still just looking for an adventuring team, and another team who's already a team without him.
Yeah. I'm good if we rest up in town.
Considering you are now part of this Ameri crew, where do we go next?
I don't have any information on where we should go. I know that the music box came from somewhere out west, but where, I have no idea. I am along with you wherever you would choose to go, but I don't know what prospects are in front of you.
We could go to the nearby.
With one option.
Give me a moment. What are we listening to?
We're listening to Go West.
Yeah. So anyway.
Every time you guys agree to go west, I play this song. Every time, without fail. You have to get used to it at some point.
We could go to the nearby treasure cove.
Great idea. Do that.
I think first we should check out where the underground river meets the ocean, though, because there might be more to all the stuff we found down there.
A little coast steering, then, from the mouth of this cave system over to wherever this cove is. And so we don't want to go too far away. That we don't want to come back for Eileen. I mean, I don't know where this cove is. I don't know where this cove is. How far was this cove?
Yeah, is it close enough that we...
20 minute walk?
Okay.
That's just a stroll.
So this is a coastal town. It actually sits just at the top of the cliffs. You could even scurry down the cliffs on the outside, but instead you can take the little underground river and find out exactly where it comes out on the.
And you said take long rest to fast forward time.
Yeah. You would definitely have taken at least one for the following day.
Cool. I'm gonna get my spell slots back.
Where are we saying Pietro's disease is at right now?
Right.
As I said, 24 hours you'll be able to get rid of it because Toothy can do the thing with the what's it.
Oh,
perfect.
Yeah.
So we're good then.
You're just not going to feel great for another couple of days. So I wouldn't leave town proper until you've had a couple of days.
Yeah, no, just this treasure cove.
Yeah, that one. I mean, the treasure cove. No, I would wait a couple of days before that. That's what I'm saying. The little,
Okay, then
the
we
walking
can
down to
toss
the beach
around
to
for a
see
couple
what's
days.
up
do
with
that.
the
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
because Boldin had that little way down, so you just want to see if there's stuff there. Then you can do that. Yeah, you can do that as and when you wish.
Do you remember the last treasure cove? It had like the fish people that like paralyzed me and almost destroyed us.
We're stronger now, though.
Yeah, but maybe there's stronger fish people.
There are more than one treasure coves?
There were 3 on the map.
Yeah.
That God said there were 3.
We never knew such a
I'm
thing
just
existed.
well, I didn't know if you guys knew off the top of your heads how many there were. So.
We were
3
told
more.
there were many, yes.
Yeah. Found a treasure map.
I have a question about the tavern. Do we all have separate rooms, or do we all share one big room?
At the tavern, now that you've got a house, you don't have a room at all.
Oh yeah. Sorry, at the house.
Yeah, you've all got
Is
separate
there
rooms.
5 bedrooms?
There's 5 rooms that you can
Well,
sleep
am I
in.
invited to your house already? Or am I staying like out in the tent?
There's 5 rooms you can sleep in.
Okay, great.
I mean, as we
yeah.
chastise Toothy for trusting me too much, I don't know if I'm given a room right away in your newly acquired house, or if I'm just
You can sleep in the kitchen
in a tent
or the
out
herb
back.
cellar.
Yeah.
Hey,
Chill on the
Boxxo,
couch.
Hmm?
I'll sleep in your room. I don't like sleeping alone.
Oh, yeah, I
Can't say no now.
I opened the door. I opened the door. Yeah. I was actually just doing something. Actually, maybe it's good that you're here, and I'll invite you in.
Okay. I'll sleep on the floor. It's cool. We don't have to share a bed or anything. I just don't like sleeping in.
I think the room I've chosen is the bathroom, so I'm sleeping in a bath at the moment. So
Okay.
that's fine. But before we go, before we go to sleep, I will fetch my, what was it, in like a cauldron, the demon skin.
Yeah. It's
Right?
a little.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a carryable cauldron. You can like pick it up with 2 hands and like.
Yeah.
Those
I'll
drops
bring the cauldron of this black liquid goo, and set it down on the floor. I don't know if I'm allowed to take some like flavor liberties with this.
As long as it doesn't change it mechanically, I don't care.
Great.
You-
Then, because like the way you described it sounds like Venom from Spider-Man.
It totally does.
So
sure, I literally
how
just read the description on it, so.
Yeah, so I think what happens is that like the liquid starts like bubbling and moving, and then like kind of like becomes animate and like leaps out of the cauldron, and in a really weird way unhooks my studded leather and then just like splatters itself like onto my body, and it goes the same shade of black that Boxxo is. It's almost hard to like, you can only really differentiate because like one part of his, like some parts of his body you can see the scales and some you can't, and it just kind of it sits where like his studded leather was. And then I'll look over to you, Toothy, and I'll say, maybe we should test this. Maybe try and hit me. Please roll under a 17.
Yeah, I mean,
What do I hit you with?
You can just say that it. You don't have to roll. You can just
Yeah.
say that you're doing. Oh, he swings you.
I
and
use
it
my
hits the
cat's
armor.
claws.
Cool, yeah. As
Okay.
you attack, you see that where it was just like kind of looked like black, like armor, it like completely like covers the entirety of Boxxo's body and until he's like all black, and his eyes, like as it goes over his face, his yellow eyes go the same shade of white that his energy blade is. And like his whole body's covered in the armor now.
Can you breathe?
Yeah. Why
Okay.
wouldn't I?
You're covered in this stuff. I thought I might have like just strangled you or something. I thought you like, you know when you put your head in a bag.
No.
Like
Yeah.
not like when you're a kid and you do silly things like put your head in a sack and you know what I mean. And,
No.
well, anyway, I did that, but it's I was just worried for a moment. You've completely covered it. I think head to toe.
Is there a mirror in this bathroom, James? Or mirrors
No.
that thing?
No, it's very, very expensive.
Is there a puddle somewhere?
And you can fill the basin with some water.
Great, I will do that and look at my reflection.
You have a moment. Where's this goblin I see?
Look
Kobold
at me.
Who is this goblin I see? It would be rather bad.
Wow. This is amazing. And then as soon as like the threat, obviously there's like no threat level at the moment, it like swooshes off and goes back to just being like over his torso.
Cool.
Wow.
Wow.
I think we should go to bed now.
That's so cool. I'm kind of excited. It's going to be hard to go to sleep.
I mean, also, the bath is probably, human size? There's probably enough room for Toothy as well. Then you don't have to sleep on the...
Oh, you actually want to be in the bathroom?
Well, I'm assuming this house
room.
that housed one man and a child didn't
all
have
right.
five
You know what?
bedrooms.
Let's go and find out, shall we? All pages. Bear with me, Corrie. I change the music and everything.
He can set up camp in the garden.
I gotta ask: is it Corrie or Corrie?
Corrie.
It's American, so
Right.
it's Corrie when they're saying it, but I will probably call, and I've warned him out before this happened.
Yep.
I will just repetitively call him Corrie because Corrie is just not something that would ever come out of my mouth on purpose. We will get.
Australia has Corries. I know a Corrie.
Okay, it's just not
It's
English.
just-
There we go.
Okay.
Like when British people get pissed off about how we say Craig, and it's like it's the same fucking thing to us.
What? Craig?
I've seen a lot of arguments about that. Like we say it too much, like it's just like
Craig or Craig versus Craig.
Yeah,
Craig?
yeah.
Craig's a different word.
It's just
Well, I don't get why
Right,
you guys
not to
say
us.
Megan. It's Megan.
Which? Oh, Megan.
Megan. Yeah. The name
I
is
think-
not Megan. It's
I'd say
Megan.
Megan.
yeah. That's that one again. It's just because people just sort of are too loose with it. Hey,
yeah, are we
there's
here?
our house.
Right, okay, there's a bedroom.
There's one. There's two.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
that's an office.
There's loads of bedrooms.
You could sleep in
Ooh.
the bedroom, and then Mark, we are. Yeah,
Oh, I was looking at the wrong house.
the house
I was
you're
like,
in
is
would
this
be
where I'm
good.
bearing with you? Because I'm like, I don't know where
You
anything
are
is.
for now. Sorry,
Okay.
please don't move, Joe. This will be a nightmare.
All right.
Just give me a second.
What's the point in having a house?
So
if you don't have to
upset.
move about.
Just for a second, I'm waiting for Mark to appear randomly, spontaneously. I'm just going to take this off. Oh, no.
Oh, there we go.
Aha.
There he is.
Oh, roll 20.
Oh,
is
there's
such
two
a
of them.
nightmare. Yeah, it's my
Oh,
fault.
God.
Roll 20 is just being shit today. No moving. Thank
He's
you.
got mirror image. That's
All right.
impressive.
Just while
That's two
I
thieves.
get the map to go. Okay, you're on the roof.
On the roof.
There we go. Now you can wander around freely. This is the downstairs.
Ah.
Okay, so
Are they
there was
adopted?
just one bed.
Is this like a surgery? Like what?
Oh,
like
are we in the
is
wrong
this?
house? No. We're not in the wrong house, are we?
I thought the house was up here. I thought it was this. No, not that house.
That's the mayor's.
Oh, that's the mayor's house.
I
No,
think
this is
one
the
room
house.
before. This is the right house.
Yeah,
He just
Oh,
has
yeah,
a funny
he's got
chair
the,
for experimenting on his daughter.
No, he has like he's got like a little surgery. Like if you go into
Oh,
the top
okay.
left, you'll find like there's an actual like. Originally, there were like stretcher beds where things could like get experimented on and stuff. He's a doctor, sort of alchemist guy.
Interesting.
It's quite creepy.
Ugh.
Just wait till you go
Ugh.
further to it went further southwest.
I have.
He's got stairs. Dear God, what a
He's got
maniac.
stairs.
Yeah. Try the room above that.
Oh, you can actually go up?
Oh, it's a dead person.
Yeah, you've got a
He is
corpse in
evil.
the room. There we go. And then, yeah, if you were upstairs, you would see
Open all the doors.
this.
This-
Okay.
He's got an empty room here. Oh,
On
wait,
the
no,
roof.
that's the stairs.
Ah! The roof's
Oh.
moving. The whole the whole town just went
Earthquake!
Good. Back, yes.
And they spent
that
the rest of
kitchen?
the campaign investigating the source of the earthquakes.
His kitchen and dining space is on the second level.
Yeah, he's got like an open entertainment area.
Well, regardless, whatever.
It's not
room-
open.
You know what you
I
couldn't
am-
find in all that time? The bathroom.
A bath, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, whatever room I am in, yeah,
The
of
piano
course
just
I will-
smells terrible.
Yeah, of course I will let Toothy in.
Yes, I'm very loosey-goosey with this. You do what you like. It's only when you guys started discussing how many bedrooms there would or wouldn't be, I thought we'd go and find out.
Ooh. Looks like there's only one up here.
Yeah, there's probably
I know.
one bedroom and then one bedroom for her, which was in that little room under the stairs, which we don't have on the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Music died. There you go, you're right.
The creepy mad scientist rooms are not up as high as the regular bedroom. Vel'zekiss thinks you should really up the height. Is there like an attic you can take over? That's okay. We're not going to stay.
No, you're not. We may never. We may actually never visit this house again. But if you ever do visit Maztu, this is your home. You.
Cool.
Okay. Cool. What are you doing? Where are you going?
To bed, I think.
Oh no,
For a
in the
night.
morning.
Ah.
I guess if we're still not quite perfectly healthy, we'll walk down to the local ocean front rather than the...
Yeah. Would you go
Trigger.
down to the caves and then take the little boat along, or would you go down like
Scale
to
the
the
cliffs?
beach and then try and look down to see where it might come out?
We've got to go
Probably
through
through it, yeah.
Well, you can all get in the boat.
I can
Ooh,
stand next to the
Pietro
boat. if
weighs about
necessary.
6 billion stone, but apart from that.
I can levitate above the boat though. So.
Hey, wait,
Nobody thinks
stone.
about it, turns out.
Well, I can't move. I can just like levitate.
You can be a kite.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
I'll hold on to like something.
Yeah. Well, in that case, you guys can head on down there. When you do so. Just for me. Okay.
In fact, between the Tidestone letting me walk on water and having shape water as a cantrip, I'm pretty sure that I can just kind of stand on the water and then shape the water to push me along.
That is exactly
But I'm
the,
just
that
like-
is exactly why you have that tidal wave ability,
Right.
Mm.
because it is
Well, there's
literally
that
you
too, yeah.
moving across the water. Yeah.
Mhm.
Absolutely, that's how it should be. Okay. So yeah, you guys take the little boat down there, and you will find what looks to be sort of a little beachy area. There is a small boat rocking up against it. When I say small, I don't mean like a rowing boat. This is like a proper seafaring boat, but a small seafaring boat. And you will see like it's propped up on some stilts, tilted slightly to the side, and there's a hole in the hull, which is obviously being worked on. There is
Okay.
no one in sight. You can see that immediately. But yeah, I mean, this ship, you could probably get 20 people on it if you squashed, but instead the hull does seem to have some cargo in it.
Okay, so it's like a schooner.
Yeah, like a schooner.
Yes,
I was
exactly
gonna
that.
say.
Exactly.
Yeah. And someone has been working on this recently, or like?
Yeah, like within the last couple of days.
Oh, damn, but we've been here for the last couple of days.
Shall we have a look around?
Yeah.
Okay. If you go in to the boat, you will find the signs that somebody was recently camping, like here, like actually on the boat. It looks like they may have left only 24 hours ago. Hey, look, I just came back in full color. Isn't that exciting? Need to move. My sound is just glitching in and out and everything.
No worries.
For a beachy picture. Hey, look, we'll go back to the famous bench.
Ooh.
Well, I mean, I might as well use it. Okay. So yeah, when you can see that somebody was camping here maybe a day or two ago. There is a couple of carpenter's tools left sort of lying around. Nothing much more going on here.
Could
We have a look into the cargo.
Yep. As you scan through the cargo, give me an investigation check.
Wow, a 27.
Okay.
Dang.
So the primary resource you find is lots of small wooden rods and staves, a few glass balls, a couple of strange-looking other orbs of different materials. You also find what looks like a sort of little druidic curved pieces of wood. Basically, you find hundreds upon hundreds of arcane focuses that are not yet arcane focuses that could be attuned to a user. But with a 27, you'll also find a couple of other things. First of all, you will find a series of like normal spell components. So you find two big vats, one of powdered metal and one of powdered elemental dust, which can be used, or powdered gemstones, sorry, that's the other one, that can be used for spell components. You would know that this powdered gemstone specifically could be worth a little bit of gold, but it's quite heavy and obviously belongs to someone at some point. You will also, though, find a small chest, and in that chest are 6 scroll cases, and each one is packed full of scrolls.
Wow.
Well, wow, yes, and also wow, no, I'm afraid.
I see.
So, quick glance in the scroll cases will tell you that every scroll in each case is identical. Which is still pretty cool, except for the fact that there's not much benefit to recasting mage armor multiple times. So, you've got, let me read out the, actually 20 scroll cases.
Wow.
But, as I say, quite a few of them might not be too useful to you.
Right.
I will type and speak if I can manage that. So, you have here, oh, no, that's not. I did my random gen list, but I forgot to make it arcane exclusive. I was like, oh, there's aid and cure wounds. And no, there isn't. There is alarm, arcane, lock, arcane, digger. I think that's a new spell. Augury.
I think I found that, though.
Maybe.
Yeah, before.
There is dark vision. That's useful to have 20 scrolls.
Okay, yeah.
There's detect magic. There is enlarge. Find. Pulls that up. You'll get the point. Featherfall. On. There is. Oh, skipping over that one. Wow, what are you going to do with 20 scrolls of grease? That's going to be a nightmare for me. Knock, light, long strider, locate object. Guys, we've got so many things to do. Please, just could be like a sea little music thing going on. That's what I mean. I think it's working now.
Classic.
I decided to type them and then read. There's alarm, arcane lock, arcane vigor, augury, dark vision, detect magic, enlarge, find familiar, featherfall, grease, knock, long strider, locate object, mage armor, a rope trick, and unseen servant. There is also 20 scrolls of prestidigitation and 20 of mage hand. I have no idea what you're meant to do with those, but I didn't even bother including them in the list. I don't know, maybe Boxxo is just going to sit there and clean things using prestidigitation scrolls. Who knows? A reminder that anybody can use any scrolls. If you want to use a scroll and you are not a spellcaster, you make an Arcana check. If you want to use it, well, as I've now fixed everyone's character sheets, I think it's fair to say if you want to use a scroll, you just make an Arcana check equal to the DC of 10 plus the spell's level. So it'd be like 11 for level 1 or 13 for level 3. And now your Arcanas should all be in your own spellcasting attributes if you are a spellcaster. Is that correct? So I've got Charisma for Joe. I've got Wisdom.
Yep.
So there are 20 of each of these?
Yes.
Yeah,
I have no idea what you're going to do with them.
Use them constantly?
Well, give it
Forever and ever?
What are you going to do with 20 alarm spells, right?
I don't know. I mean, like, 20
There's a couple there that are quite useful.
familiars will get us each a
Pietro-
familiar for the rest of the campaign.
At the very least, Pietro has a bunch of homework to do tonight.
Um,
Can you put that in your loot, Rico?
Yeah, sure.
I
I
mean,
don't know that I can hold.
you could just stick. I'll stick it in a separate section of the group loot. Here you go. Here you go.
How do you do separate sections?
I'll just go this and then put group spell scrolls.
Oh,
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
so if we all have Find Familiar, we all have familiars.
We could all have familiars. indeed.
Temporarily, you can't resummon them because you don't know the spell, so you need to use a scroll to resummon them as well, right?
Oh, well, that's not how it works, but okay.
Isn't it?
No, that's what I was saying. Like, it would just get it as long as you don't get them killed. Like,
Well, sure,
they'll
they
be
last
around for
forever
fucking ever.
until they get killed. Exactly. At which point,
Right,
you need
yeah.
a scroll to
You
resummon.
wouldn't
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, but okay, my Find Familiar is an ant.
Yeah, good luck targeting that.
Yeah, I mean, I as I said, I rolled randomly for them. Most of them, I don't mind if you cast 20 times. You could, of course, return them to the original owner. Also a valid option. Just saying.
Perhaps. If we can
After
figure out
such a
who
long,
that is.
in-depth discussion about thievery.
Yeah, well, do we think that they are taken from somebody
You
or
know
put
they're
together
taken.
by this organization?
I was gonna
Because,
say,
like,
Okay.
yeah.
In fact,
Probably D'Souza.
No. In fact, it's not going to take you a long time to look at the stampings on the box. See, this is taken directly from the Mages Guild.
Okay.
They don't need any more money.
I didn't
No, there is also a single ring, which somebody might find interesting.
Oh.
I think the spell is called Elementalism.
mm.
And as you cast Elementalism at will.
So, I mean, Vel'zekiss is not actually very smart when it comes down to it. He's decent, but, like, maybe this has already been obvious, and maybe I even forget realizing it myself, but I don't know. I was thinking of this plot that we've been sort of around the edges of as more stealing to, like, corner the market and make money on magic stuff. But is it clear at this point that they're, like, building an army?
Ooh, that is certainly not clear. So what
Okay.
Bodlin told Rheawynne,
Right, yes, right.
is
Yeah.
that the Academy of Shah is very expensive and prohibitive to enter,
Right.
and that he was trying to set up a place where young wizards or mages could learn free or for cheap, either within that area or somewhere else. That was what Bodlin told Rheawynne. Now, obviously, that could be a total lie. You don't know.
Sure.
But it
I just
certainly
wonder if
looks
the
like
numbers-
everything on hand is for the training of young wizards. That is incredibly obvious at this point. It is not being used to be sold on.
I guess then it's more of a question of do we think in this world as it is that, like, I don't know how easy it is to learn in Wizard Way, right? Obviously, there's only so many people with inborn power, you know what I mean? But, like, wizards theoretically could be anybody, but not really.
No, you
There's a
know
lot of
they need to have
dumbasses out
some
there,
level of
you know?
innate magic. You know this because you've met Zach and
Right.
female.
Yeah.
or something. No, that's not her name. That's someone else.
It was like Grace or something like that. No, that was the other.
But to be fair to Zach, it wasn't
Maybe.
Zach who was magical, it's the rat that possessed him.
Yeah,
The-
right.
Gresha
Right, I wasn't sure that.
Gresha wasn't a mage.
Right,
it
okay,
was
that's-
the
yeah.
other young girl you met.
Oh, the one on the other side of town, on the way back from the cove.
Annie, I think her name
With
is?
the tree. She went up. Yeah,
Right, went up the tree.
Caught her a gust of wind or something.
something like that.
I
Yeah.
don't know. But anyway,
Right.
so you'd need an arcane focus. You'll need a spell book. You need some level of teaching or training, unless you were incredibly gifted. Some very gifted mages might learn a couple of spells on their own, but realistically, you'll need a scroll to copy from, stuff like that, just like Pietro does for the most part. So it's prohibitively expensive. Not necessarily that it's difficult, just expensive. And that's what this guy is claiming to be trying to facilitate the teaching of young wizards achieve.
Okay.
And divine casters. You do know that you did see plenty of divine casting stuff being stolen from Ashleen, but none of that is in this book.
But it doesn't, like, these supplies don't obviously outstrip the number of people who could possibly even do these things.
Depending on the area, the catchment area, you won't find more than one person in Maztu who might be capable of using these, but in Mazrea, a town that size, you could probably find 30 or 40 who haven't been trained, and maybe a further 40 or 50 who have. Mainly because the university's there and the Mages Guild is there. But if he's mentioning the Academy of Shah, that's continental. Which point, you could find hundreds of thousands of people across the globe are capable of learning magic and don't have the money.
Well, I wonder if the intention is to just make it somewhat cheaper so they can still make money, or if they're trying to organize their own thing by giving these things away.
As you say this,
sorry, go ahead.
Corrie has been like seeing something in excess and like started pocketing it and like putting it into his bags, but then like hearing you say that maybe they're doing something charitable with it, he like pauses and looks and is like, wait, this is to help people? And slowly starts to like put scrolls back into the collection.
I don't know if helping, it sort of depends on... There's multiple stages. If you help a certain number of people to have magic, depends what you intend to for those people to in turn do.
One with a nefarious purpose is could raise an army, for example.
And you would know that even though a lot of these scrolls are not directly dangerous, arming this many wizards would indeed create a force that would...
To be reckoned with.
Really. Especially as we do have group rituals. We don't really let players do them. But there are group rituals where multiple casters can put their powers together to do things they wouldn't be capable of as individual casters. You've seen this in Baldania, not in this campaign. Sorry, just in case you were thinking, wait, how did I miss that? Some of these players have seen it done once before.
Yeah.
I mean, there's one way to find out.
What's that?
We find this Bodlin.
Oh, yeah.
As you're having this conversation, can I take a perception check with anybody? I think it's probably just Mark and Josh. Passive perception of 14 or higher?
Yeah, not me.
Yes. So do the check.
Yep, Josh, and you as 14 higher as well?
Yes, let me know if that fails, because I can add something to
You
it.
have failed diabolically.
Wonderful. It means that I can add my side die to it.
21? No.
For a 2, and I will add one of my cards.
Criminal offensive side.
I love the way that I could you could have rolled max on both of these and you might have failed. The outer world's a reflection of the inner world. Other people's perception of you is a reflection of them. Not that you know this, you failed your perception check.
With a 16.
Oh no, 16 is the DC. Okay, so the both of you will hear a whistling sound, very chirpy, very happy. You hear somebody stumbling along the cliffside, headed down by the path.
What are they doing? Does it look like they're going towards the treasure cove?
They're coming direct. The treasure cove is not here. In case you think the treasure cove is here, it's not here. It's about 8 miles down the road. You have a map to it. The last one was literally underwater. It's very unlikely that's where they're going. Forget the treasure cove. Out of your mind.
Yep.
It looks like they're headed here. Right here.
Have either of them informed the rest of us that someone's coming?
Oh no, after role
Yeah,
players.
but I don't look towards you guys. I'm still looking at this person, but you do hear Boxxo go, who's that?
I will slowly like slink away from the boat and the box and like try and hide myself.
So Pietro is going to expend his a racial use of Pass Without Trace.
Ooh.
Can you target 5 people with that?
I believe I
That's
can.
6,
Let's have a
right?
look. Yeah, I think so.
So a D&D group before it gets out of hand.
Creature. Actually, just as each creature.
Yeah, there's
Within
none
range,
others.
is it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
within
cool,
range.
yeah. Okay, that's fine.
What does that look like?
Gives you a +10 to stealth. What does it look like?
So, I think that, I mean, like, so Pietro obviously looks like a rock man. Earth and Genasi have this sort of innate ability to sort of blend in with their surroundings. So I think that him casting this to extend out to you guys would sort of just meld us more into the color of this ship that we're on. So everyone's a lot more tan, basically.
Okay. I'm not going to ask for a stealth check at the moment because the person coming down the hill is pretty blissfully oblivious. If you've got to pass without trace, you're guaranteed an 11 or above, which is plenty.
Yes.
I mean, okay, technically not one, but we ignore that.
Yeah.
You'll see a dwarf coming down. They have their beard split in two, sort of plaited into 2 braids, and long hair is sort of plaited down one side. It's quite a very neatly kept dwarf. They have a shoulder bag slung over their shoulders, and then on the other side, you'll see them carrying like a tent and blanket. And they continue whistling down as they come much closer. They're now sort of only 20 or 30 feet away. They stop whistling and sort of look about. And, ooh, gonna be a nice couple of days. There's my fishing rod. Looks around, sort of goes over like to the beach bit where they move a couple of rocks and get out their fishing rod and get that set up before I start work. And sort of juts it into a bit of the beach and puts it out with, takes the line, leaves that going, and then begins to climb up onto the ship. At this point, if you are not going to make yourself known, you will need to give me stealth checks. A reminder that at least one of you is at disadvantage. Okay, Boxxo is invisible. Pietro is because everyone's 39.
Everyone's features become more angular and, like, you know, straight and box-like.
So everyone is obviously not trying to be seen.
Well,
I guess for now.
from your party
I'm just
members, you want to be
observing.
seen.
I want to see what I want to see what he rifles through. Is he the person who owns this book?
Vel'zekiss,
Natural 20 for a 35.
Vel'zekiss is lying down. His scaling looks like green rocks. And then, Corrie, you found a particularly good corner, and you're just angled in the shadow with a 20. With a 15, Toothy, you were doing...
No. 5.
No, 15, because you got past that trace, which is your plus 10.
Oh, passing that trace, yeah.
With 15, it was going well. You hit your body and your head really well. But as he sort of comes in, he looks like, there's a tail on my boat. And he's just going to pull your tail. Oh dear. Are you Bolden's friend?
Yes.
Right. Okay, well, I haven't finished yet, I'm afraid. Still got work to do. Couple more days.
That's okay.
It'll be a week.
Yeah, that's okay.
Right, are you going to be staying here and observing or something?
Yes.
Why is that?
Because the one who was keeping the mare got
Keeping the man? What?
got. Oh, maybe you're not supposed to know that.
Right. I don't want to know anything I'm not supposed to make. Bolden asked me to fix up a boat, that's all. Said somebody else might come down and give payment.
Yeah, that's not me.
Right, fine, you'll just... Yeah, give me a deception check, please, as it's becoming...
Your
story is unraveling quickly.
Where are we? There we are. 19.
Nice.
Hey.
Right, well, seeing as you're here, there's some clams washed up on shore a bit further down. You might as well go and get those. We'll have a nice lunch. And he sort of nods away for you to... It just expects you to leave.
Okay.
Cool. The rest of you can watch as he will take a couple of pieces of wood from his pack, and you can see that what he's gone to get is some more supplies. He's got some like nails and stuff, and he starts fixing the hole. He mutters to himself a couple of times, but it's all work related. He seems competent in his job. What are you guys doing as you can all observe?
I am going to use my psychic powers to establish a psychic connection between us all. So we can all
between the
talk to
party.
each other.
Okay. I thought you
Yeah,
said
obviously. Yeah,
I could
between
never
the,
know, right?
No. So between us all, we can all. I think we can all talk to each other, or is it just that everyone?
They can all talk to you. They can all talk to you.
They can all talk to you. And is it for a certain time frame?
Yes, I
It
need
will
to
be a
roll
side,
one of my dice
I
for 5 hours.
An hour would do, yeah. Okay, so you can Toothy, sorry, not Toothy. Boxxo can speak into each of your minds. You can speak back. The message will be passed. As somebody who hasn't experienced this might surprise our good friend Arlethus. No,
Yes.
sorry, Corrie.
Nope.
Corrie.
Corrie.
Wow, 3 attempts. Our good friend Corrie. A little bit. Boxxo, what are you saying?
Hi guys. We can wait. You guys can talk to me mentally now, so we don't get caught.
What's the range on your psychic whispers?
It is communication between yourself and other as an action. One more creature you can see.
Right. Okay. So
And then it's
Toothy
up
is
to
not included in
Mario, I
this.
think.
Toothy is not
If
included.
you-
Gathering claims.
Yes, I'd have to be able to see him.
Sorry,
Yeah.
go ahead.
And we
Toothy,
can be
give me a
as
survival
far as
check.
a mile away from each other before
Huh?
the connection drops.
Toothy, give me a survival check. The rest of you here, hi guys, in your mind.
Absolute panic on Corey's face. Like,
No
has
one
no
sees.
idea what's going on.
20 on your self check, no one sees. Toothy, you are able to find said clams and pick up a couple. You're doing all right. The rest of you, hi guys.
Oh, we can all speak.
Are we
You
going to
guys
learn
can
anymore
speak
from
to
just
me.
watching this fool?
We are scared of this dwarf for some reason.
He seems to be in a cahoots with this Bodlin character.
I love the idea that this conversation, what it actually is all of you speaking into Boxxo's mind simultaneously. And he's just hearing, someone speaking in my mind. Oh, God. Oh, we're actually going to watch this guy.
Yeah.
This guy seems to be like, like all of the things into his mind, kind of process it word by word. And then he's
a
passing
lot
it
of
back
back and
out.
forth.
And you just hear him going back out. Vel'zekiss says, are we going to watch this guy all day? Pietro says, it's this guy goes with...
And like the worst thing is that it's taken forever because Boxxo has a stutter.
Yeah.
So it's taking even longer.
No, you've well established that Boxxo does not have a stutter mentally. In fact, I believe you said he spoke like... Yes, you said he spoke like Matthew McConaughey, I think it was.
What?
It was definitely someone quite posh, quite well-to-do that you said he sounds like mentally. I'll go back and find another episode.
Well,
but you
sure.
did
Let's just say that. Sure.
well
Let's just say that he
spoken.
doesn't start. That's fine.
Yeah. So you guys will see Toothy come back onto the boat with some hams, and he sort of looks over and, right, that'll do well. I'll build a campfire up a little bit later. If you're not going to be of much use, I'll just ask you to keep out of the way if you don't mind. With that, he'll go back to repairing the hull.
Is anyone holding the rod of thought projection?
I believe somebody claimed it.
I think I
Did you?
did. I
Yeah.
can't remember though.
Yeah, it was you, I think.
Okay, put it in your inventory. I'm taking it out of the group loot.
Okay.
Get it done. Jack is distraught with the state of the group loot tracker right now. It's pages long.
Should we have a toothy attempt to extract information from this man?
Well, what kind of information?
If he knows Bodlin's plans or where these things are going.
I don't even know who a Botlin is.
Yeah, Boxxo, fill him in, please.
I do so.
Good.
We get the TLDR.
For Mark's sake, I know you probably know this.
No. Yep.
But yeah, also stream's sake, if nothing else. Bodlin is the Tabaxi thief who told Rheawynne to look after the mayor, who also has stolen stuff from the town. We know that he was staying in a base within the caverns. He definitely had some contact with Gallon, and he has some kind of familiar of an infernal nature or abyssal nature, a demonic nature, perhaps.
I will establish a connection with Duthi.
Okay.
And I will.
Can you ping
use
the
this rod of
projection just so that
Yeah, for sure, dude.
that I can remember what it does? I saw this and thought, yeah, that's cool. They can have it. Right. While holding this rod, you can use an action to create a mental connection with a willing humanoid. An action lasts as long as you concentrate. Okay. Cool. For the duration, you can communicate telepathically. As a part of this, it opens to see through the creature's eyes and hear through their ears. That'll confusing. They're aware of the effect. Can they communicate back? Yes, they can. Okay, cool. You establish a connection with Toothy, who's currently standing there holding some clams.
Duthi, can you hear me? Don't say anything.
Yes, I can hear you.
Is that Toothy thinking?
I have to think really.
Back at you?
Yeah, I have to think really hard.
Can you try to question this man about Bodlin? Because small talk, how he knows him, something like that.
Okay. I'll try. I got clans.
I see.
I guess I'll start. He said he started making a fire. I guess I'll go and sit next to
him.
him.
He would do later. Right now.
Oh, I would do later.
I just told you,
Because
if you're
right now
not
he's
going to be useful, get out the way. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I don't think he wants to make small talk there. We might be here for a while.
Be friendly. You know how.
I do know how to work with wood.
Tell him.
Okay. Hey. What's your name? Mr. Dwarf?
Damn it.
Dan it?
That's me.
Okay. Do you want any help? I know how to work with wood.
Oh, that would speed things up a lot, yeah. Here, hold
Yeah.
this in place. And he just literally just gestures for you to hold one of the planks in place while he hammers it.
Okay, yeah, I can do
You
that.
worked on ships before?
Oh no, nothing like that. But like I work with the woodworkers of my tribes out in the west.
Right. You're a Western Tabaxi, are you?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's good.
Where are you from?
Shema.
Where's that?
Shuma or Shema. I've just decided I was always going to call it Shuma until it came out of my face. We're going to call it Shuma. I don't know why I call it Shema. It's literally the next town over.
Oh.
Aye. Just down the road, really.
Oh yeah. I came here with my sister from the west to visit Vazra.
Big city.
But
I don't like big cities.
yeah. Have you been there?
I have a few times. But no, I prefer to keep it simple.
Oh yeah.
Nice and small towns is for me.
I get that. What sort of led you to this situation? You a sailor?
No, lad, I'm a carpenter. That's why I'm working with the wood.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. But you might be a carpenter on a ship, in which case you're like a sailor
not for me.
carpenter.
Dwarves are land creatures, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I'm not too good with the water either.
Right, that checks out. I've got a house cat at home who hates the water.
Yeah, I think we're kind of different than that, but we're kind of the same as well. I don't really know how it works.
Me neither. I just thought that, there might be some similarities, but
Ask her how we met Bodlin.
I will. Just let me do my thing.
He looks at you as you concentrate really hard on holding a piece of wood. He's I'm not expecting you to have to think so hard about it.
Sorry, it felt like it was fighting me.
Right.
Anyway. So what have you done in your life then that sort of, you're a carpenter? Have you been a carpenter all your life?
Well, I was a child once. My dad was a carpenter. My grandfather was a carpenter. My granddad's granddad was a carpenter. My granddad's father wasn't a carpenter, though. He was a chef. My granddad's granddad hated that, so taught my grandfather in turn. I think my line's always been carpenters for the most part.
Okay. I didn't know... Sorry if this sounds a bit stereotypical, but I didn't know dwarves work with wood that much. I thought they were more stone people.
Well, we're made different, we are. We are the Woodcarvers. That is our family name. So I'm Danet Woodcarver. My grandfather was Danet Woodcarver. My grandfather's grandfather was Danet Woodcarver. My grandfather's father, though, renamed himself. He wasn't Danet Woodcarver anymore. He called himself Danet Cakebeard. His business didn't take off much.
Cakebeard's a funny name.
Yeah, I thought so too, but alas.
Yeah.
The rest of us all in the family line. Mickey will be a woodcarver soon enough. My wife makes flowers, though. She don't make flowers, she picks them and she puts them in nice little bouquets, she calls them. She sells them. That's why we go to Mazrea occasionally. She sells them down there, she does. 2 times a year.
Oh, that's nice.
It is nice.
Yeah.
So what do you do?
So...
You just work for Bodlin, do you?
Yeah, well, as I said, I don't know if, you said you didn't really know this, but my sister got some work from him. And so, I guess joined along. And,
I don't ask too many questions, but he seems like he might be into a bit of shady shit, if you ask me. He came all professing that he worked for the Mages Guild and such, but I don't quite believe it, as there is definitely some stuff on board the Mages Guild would not approve of. Nevertheless, he only asked me to fix a ship, and I'll take work if it's paid.
Okay, so, I was suspecting that too, because I didn't want my sister doing some... She was doing some, as you say, shady shit. And so... she would have got in trouble, but I got her out of that trouble.
Oh, that's good.
And so,
family should look after
do you think
family, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. So, do you think this Bodlin's a bit of a bad guy?
Oh, I think he might be involved in some shady shit. Yeah, and I don't really work for that. But as I said, paid gold is paid gold. I'm only doing my job. I'm only fixing a ship. No one can accuse me that I was involved in dodgy dealings. I'm just saying that. You come down in one of those little boats with one of those canvases over the top, and trust me, that's a smuggler's lot, that is. So I didn't ask too many questions, and I didn't look too hard in the hold at anything that might be coming out. But there was one thing that did catch my eye. And I did put it to the side, meaning to ask him about it, to be honest.
Okay, well now you've got me intrigued.
Do you know much about magic?
I can do a little bit here and there.
Well, you see, there's this book. Honestly, I took it and hid it in my pack. Not to use it, mind you. I want to make that clear. But I was going to confront him on it because I don't think a book like this should be in the world, to be honest, if you have a look at it. And he'll pull out this book, and it's got a black leather cover, and on the front, very slowly turning, is like a red wheel. It's just a picture of a red wheel, but it is turning on the cover.
What kind of wheel?
It just looks like a simple circle with some spokes. It's turning.
Okay.
And the title says The Golem Manual. Flesh golems at their finest.
Oh, that is some shady shit.
Now, don't get me wrong, if this is just, taking bits and pieces of flesh off of, I don't know, dead pigs and dead horses and something, and turning them into a little golem that might help you go about farm the land, then, well, but begging your pardon, I don't think that that's what this is about. I ain't read a word, I haven't, but not too impressed, honest.
I know someone who knows a lot more about magic than me.
Right.
And I don't, like, I agree with you. I'm not into shady shit, and I would definitely not use this in any way, shape, or form. In fact, I think I'd rather burn it. But they would be intrigued. And if you're sort of, I'm not sure if, I mean, this Bodlin, I'm not sure if he's the kind of guy you want to confront, because he might be a bit dangerous.
I thought to confront the person who was bringing payment, because I assumed that would be a lackey of Bodlin's, you see. I might at least be able to get some answers. No, I agree with you. I don't think Bodlin's the sort of person to confront at all.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe.
If you're not the person.
Maybe if you want to.
What exactly are you doing here then?
I was just sent down to make sure that everything was all, if you're begging the pun, shipshape.
Right. That's why, of course, he'd send a woodworker, wouldn't he? That would make sense. Somebody
Yeah.
would actually see that I'm doing the work properly. Right, I see. He sort of nods to himself, and you can see him assuring himself that his doubts are okay. Can I take a second stealth check from everybody, by the way? Because this has been quite a while now of you guys sitting still, and I want to see whether you're all doing all right. How long does Pass Without Trace last, Rico? Is it a minute or an hour? You're muted if you're talking back to me.
Sorry. It doesn't really. Oh, no, it doesn't really say. For the duration,
Up
is
to an hour.
There'll be a
Up to an hour,
duration on
yeah.
the spell. Okay, cool.
up to an hour.
Yeah.
No.
What?
Because it's at least the current version. I think maybe the old one wasn't this one. I know the legacy is concentration.
Oh shit!
And if you had to concentrate on that
I
staff talking to
broke
Toothy,
that concentration, didn't I?
Okay,
Well
so what
done.
I got? I got a 26, a 20, a 17, a 13. You know what? That's not bad. But yeah, a tale as old as time, or as pokey outy as Toothy's, one might say. As he goes to get a set of nails, Vel'zekiss, he will kick your tail and trip forwards. How does that go?
Oh, how does that go? I disappear. I leave the boat. Instead of becoming less looking like the surroundings, as I should be with the magic wearing off, I become even more and more and more looking like the planks of a ship until I'm just not there anymore. And I use one of my my feet teleport to just pop outside to the opposite side of the ship from where they've been working, 15 feet away.
Yeah, you teleport 15 feet away, which is obviously backwards, and then do you then scurry off?
Yeah. So what's out on the? Is it just straight beach?
Yeah, it's a small inlet, so there's just a little bit of beach, maybe 100 feet one end to the other before the cliffs sort of come out in front of it, where you'd be in the sea. There's the cave back behind you, and then there's just this little like sort of makeshift harbor, if you like.
Yeah. So I think, it's just make for. I was gonna say I was maybe hide in the water with some shaping of it, but if there's nothing much else out there, I'll just head towards the cave and try to get around a corner.
Yeah, he looks back. Damn it. Don't even work out why he tripped over.
Oh, I saw it. It was a goanna.
Goanna.
Yeah, big lizard.
Goanna, go.
Like, well, I guess so, but yeah, goanna. It's called a goanna. Or at least we call them that. There's a big lizard.
A big lizard? Over here? I thought that was only found in the west. Maybe this is where that boat came from. I hope I didn't.
Well, they
disturb.
swim.
Oh. He looks very nervously over the edge of the boat. I don't see any big lizards right now. Okay, cool. Right, well, anyway. As I was saying, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, Bodlin sent you to check on me. Well, how do you find the work? And he nods towards the hull, which is sort of about 6 or 7 hours away from completion.
Well, I only know if the wood's good or not. I'm not too sure about the actual, whether the ship is right or not. But to me, the wood's good.
I guess he didn't ask too many questions before employing. He just trusted you
No.
to the fact that you were another Tabaxi, I guess.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, I'm this like my sister got me involved.
Ah, yeah, family connection always helps you get work, I find. Not about who. It's not about what you know. It's about who you know. It's true.
Yeah, I found that too.
Just shuffle that bit of wood over there, and he carries on with his work. And he goes very quiet and doesn't say anything.
Alright. And then
carry on.
I'm gonna go. Is there anything else, Pietro?
No, to be honest, that was quite good, Toothy. Thank you.
Are you guys going
I
to attempt to
appreciate
hide
the
here indefinitely?
I mean, for at least as long as the dude is in here, and then when he leaves, maybe we can sneak out the back door if there is.
I will take another 2 stealth checks. These are half-hourly stealth checks, by the way.
We don't have passive trace anymore, by the way.
No, you don't. Hey, there we go. Boxxo was in a really, really careful hiding position, like curled around a crate, and it was working great. And then, as he does something, the boat shifts a bit. The crate falls off, lands right on top of Corrie, knocks Corrie to the side. Boxxo falls from where he was into the middle of the boat. Corrie sort of lets out an inadvertent noise as a crate falls on him. And you just see this guy sort of turn around. What's going on? Who are you? And he looks straight at you, Boxxo.
This is a dream. And I jump out of the boat.
He is not willing to take any chances. He's going to rush over to Corrie, and he's going to pick you up, Corrie. Hold you up in the air. Who are you? Who's your friend? Do you know him? And he thrusts your face in Toothy's face.
I am. Ooh.
Think carefully, lad. It's high time for a bit of truth, I think. You too. And he sort of grabs hold of Toothy's arm to prevent you from jumping off. Don't think I won't find you. You be careful of the goannas. He shouts out at Boxxo. And he's holding it to him. Now,
I have no swimming speed, so I'm barely making any progress.
You're just taking the doggy paddle back to shore as he holds the 2 of you. He's, give me some truth.
Can I get a wisdom save from him?
I don't know, can you? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you casting?
I'm casting command on him.
Okay, cool. I rolled a 19, which is a 19. He has a +0. So he
Yeah,
has a 19
so that's going to fail on him.
What do you command him? What do you say to him?
Flee.
Flee? No,
Yeah.
I don't think I will. Don't you try your magics on me. Us dwarves are very resistant to magics, you know. Look, I just want some answers.
My name is Flea. I was just telling you my name as you wanted the truth from me.
Right.
I
Slowly.
Pietro will unveil himself.
Ah!
Stop, unhand him.
How did you hide so well? I don't think I will. Give me some truth, or I'll drop him off the edge of the boat. And he dangles Corrie over the edge of the boat.
Please. I am Toothy's magical friend.
Who's Toothy?
The man
That's me.
You've been speaking to this whole time.
Right. Oh. He just sort of he's still holding Corrie there. Hold on, Josh. You're still paddling to the shore. He looks back at you, Pietro, and you're working for Bodlin, all of you.
No, we are investigating Bodlin.
Oh. Why didn't you just start with that? He brings Corrie, drops him on the edge of the boat. What were you doing, Boxxo?
I was going to say, as he pulls Corrie from not being hungover, you just see a very wet claw, climbing back up the boat. Scramble onto the floor.
How many more of you are hiding on this boat?
On this boat, no more.
You were oddly specific about that.
We may or may
We're
not,
oddly specific about that.
we may or may not have a friend outside.
Outside what? We're already outside, lad. You people are very confusing. So you're investigating Boldlin. There's 4.5 of you, one of whom is somewhat nearby but not actually here. And you're going to tell me, well, if you're investigating Boldlin, I suppose you should have this. And he thrusts you the Flesh Golem manual.
I will take it.
Look, all I'm interested in is getting the payment for the work I've been doing. I'm fixing up a boat. I don't think there's anything nefarious about that. Do you?
Not particularly, but I
I'm
have
an
my
honest
doubts.
carpenter. I come from a great line of the wood carvers.
I respect that. I come from a great line of stonemasons.
He gives a sniff of disdain.
However, I don't believe the man who employed you is nearly as honorable.
Me neither, but I've done 4 days' work on this boat. I'm not going to take nothing for my reward.
Well, we're not here to pay you.
Exactly. So you're in your investigating, are you going to prevent the other person from turning up to pay me? That's what I'm asking. There's some expensive-looking stuff on this boat. Maybe if you're going to be departing with some of that as part of an investigation, it might be compensation, collateral, so to speak, and you might spare a couple of gold coins for someone who's done 4 days' hard work. You would know that 2 gold is a lot of money for the work done, and would expect more 8 silverish. Specifically, Pietro would know that as beadsman.
How much could he get for a magical sword?
What am I gonna do with a magical sword?
He can sell it.
I don't want no. I want hard coin.
Oh,
Otherwise,
okay.
I take some of this, and he gestures towards all the stolen goods in the hold. Some of this is my collateral. I don't want no stolen goods that you've investigated and confiscated from some other thief somewhere else.
Help yourself. These are
Coins
not
are
ours.
coins. I want coins. Look, 1 gold piece, and I'll disappear. We'll leave his boat unfixed, which means he won't be able to run off in the middle of the night, and your investigation will be complete, and I'll be able to go home to my wife with something to show for the hard work I've done.
Is
I
Vel'zekiss
broke
going to
a
be
good,
okay with
valuable
this?
chisel out here. Is
Oh,
Boxxo?
that's
What's
not good.
Boxxo?
No, not Boxxo. Is Vel'zekiss going to be okay with us giving more people gold?
What's a
Vel'zekiss.
Vel'zekiss? Vel'zekiss is not here. I like that. Maybe Vel'zekiss should stay not here, and you should give me some gold.
All right. How much gold are we giving you, sir?
12.
Oh, well, hold on now.
He tries.
Let me inspect this work.
You're a stonemason. What do you know about fixing boats? This man here said the wood is good. Gold piece and I'm gone.
The wood is good. I just don't know how. I mean, like, I don't know about boats.
8 silver pieces.
None of you can judge my work, then I will say 1 gold piece to keep my mouth shut and get out of your way. More than anything
That's
else.
it.
You've clearly got the funds, as your friend here is right ready to give them all away. So you might as well cough it up. Don't make me drop the twinkly fellow back over the water. Looks over to your robe.
I'll telepathically say to everyone, maybe we should just knock him out and flee.
Hearing this, because it was said telepathically to everyone, I run back out knowing there's trouble.
You must be Vel'zekiss! As you come running out. I knew you were hiding nearby. You're the Goanna!
What seems to be the problem?
I'm asking for a
Threatening to
simple
throw
gold
people
piece for work done, compensation, and to get out of your way. That book I've given you is already worth way more than that, and you know it, Mr. Magical Stonemason.
You may drop my friend, but he can swim. Could you survive the 5 of us?
I'm not wanting no trouble. I'm wanting you to pay me to get out of your way so you don't get any trouble either. Look, I go nice and peaceful with all this stuff. Don't mention anything. Keep your investigation intact. Prevent your Boldlin friend from having a boat to flee off on, and you give me a gold piece, which you can clearly afford, can't you? And he looks back at Toothy.
I look at Pietro.
I'll ask, since we have still technically a connection. How much gold do we have?
We have 65.
What?
And Boxxo.
I guess I don't hear that because the Boxxo.
I'm not sharing how much gold I've got.
Boxxo has more than the
112
group.
or something.
Just saying.
I'll ask for the gold piece from Toothy.
Oh, do we think that Toothy
Okay.
actually keeps the group gold? I thought it was just
Doesn't
a
he?
Jack thing.
Oh.
Like, I thought it was just because Jack keeps the group
I
gold.
mean,
I'm
on Pietro's
amazed given Toothy's naivety. If he is the
Pietro
person
only
you
has
elected
pizza.
to carry your group gold, I would have assumed Pietro had it in his pocket.
Not all of it.
No, but at least some.
Okay, then I'll fork over this gold piece.
Very
Okay.
well. Right, I'll be taking this, and he like pulls the piece of wood that's half hammered into the boat, just pulls it off again, takes out the nails, puts them back in his bag, like everything, picks up all his tools, looks really sadly at the handle of a broken chisel, and he looks around and as a last thought, he reaches over, he takes the 2 clams out of Toothy's hand, and he marches off back up the cliffside. Waste of my time that was. And he heads off.
It was lovely to talk to you.
You too, Tooth and Claw.
Should we have
You
let him
don't.
finish and just sailed off with all of this shit?
That's funny.
I'm not coming back now. And he carries on marching away.
I might be able to figure this stuff out. I guess we don't have a hammer or anything like that.
Don't you have a set of carpenter's tools?
Yeah.
No, I have a set of woodworker's tools.
Oh, same shit. Yeah. You could definitely. It would be a struggle and a 5-man group effort, but you could fix up this boat if
I
that's
have
really
mending,
what
so
you're
I can
inclined
help
to do.
around the edges.
Yeah. But in the meantime, obviously, you've got the guide to
Yes, the golem. Flesh
finest,
golems.
a guide to the finest of
golems
flesh
at their
golems.
finest.
The golem manual. Yes, flesh golems at their finest. There you go. That's what.
And that's going in yours. That's going Pietro's.
Sure.
Well, yeah. I mean,
I don't know
it's,
that I'm gonna hold on to this thing, but
I think you can just add golem manual.
Yeah, sure.
I think that is a thing on D&D Beyond. And then mention that it is flesh golems. It is definitely a dark and necrotic piece. It doesn't match the vibe of anything else that's.
Interesting.
I don't like this. Evil magic.
Not Boxxo. Pietro, give me an arcana. Say that. Are you opening any of the pages? You flicking through it at all, or are you just looking?
just looking at the front, I think, for now. 15 Arcana.
Okay. Yeah, you know that this is much closer to the magics of the Black Angels, or than it is to anything to do with Bodlin. It might be that he's just straying to different places. You haven't met the guy, but you do know that the 2 layers were very close together. And you get an inkling that maybe he might have either been selling it or buying it from them or to them, like that, maybe, as opposed to just
Using it
random
for something
using
else?
it, exactly.
Yeah.
Sorry, my stool that I'm resting my leg on is the squeakiest thing ever.
Is there any if this town is probably too small for this, any mage guild people around to report this to?
So no, you've got mages guilds in Mazrea, in Culver, and in Metella. Are you guys on the map? You know where those places are?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you've got an actual mage tower in pretty much anywhere that's pale blue, any of these cities, and a mage's outpost, which usually would mean a mage who just lives there, who's connected to the mages guild. But a representative is like in any of the dark green places, any of the bigger looking towns, Isha, Culver, Metella. You might find one in a couple of the smaller villages, but Maztu didn't seem like one. You certainly didn't meet any villages there. You could you could hand it over to the priesthood instead, but that guy didn't help out a girl who got experimented on by alchemical procedures, so maybe isn't the most reliable of priesty people.
And it's a lot of stuff to be carrying along just to try to return to some organized rightful owner. It'd be nice if we could just point out where it was, but by then, Odin will be back for it.
This is my fear.
Do you have sending?
I have a scroll or something.
Or does anyone have animal messenger?
Somebody could prepare it by tomorrow, I'm sure.
No, I don't have sending.
I don't think it's a cleric spell. Is it only?
Sure it is.
Oh, is it?
I believe
Clerics are the ones who are always casting sending. I know.
Yeah, so I have a 3rd level spell scroll of sending.
This could be something that you could inform either.
Yeah.
The Mage's Guild.
Bard, cleric, wizard.
Yep.
Anyway, it's just not a sorcerer thing. That's always odd, isn't it? Yeah, so you could definitely either prepare it tomorrow or expend the scroll or whatever to inform either Rheawynne directly or perhaps one of the others that you left back in Vazra. Merrigan, for example. You could even... you didn't speak to a Mage's Guild at any point. Pietro may even, but may know somebody in the Mage's Guild just vaguely. You could definitely report it to the Mage's Guild via ascending. And I'm more than happy for you guys to prepare it through Corrie tomorrow, and then, unprepare it again the following day, because you're going to spend another 2 long rests. You could even say you prepared it this morning, like it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
If you guys want to send out a message to tell them there is a boat here through the caves of this place, yada yada. I mean, you know that they're already sending parts of the
representatives for
guard
the
to help the town out, and a couple of people to fix it up. So.
As long as we're not becoming the transporters or the guards of it.
No, I agree.
Otherwise, we'd like to try to
You'll
make sure
take
it's
the
handled
chest of
properly.
scrolls? I'll leave them there, or is there any particular scroll cases you want to build for leave the rest there?
I mean,
it's
if
totally up
Pietro
to you
could take a copy of the spells that he does not currently
Of course,
have,
you can. I mean, you could take like 2 of each,
hoarding.
for example,
sure.
if you want. But
But I don't know that I would take entire scroll cases of them.
Yeah, so it's a chest with 20, with like all these scroll cases in, each scroll case containing 20 scrolls.
Yeah.
Where the hell did I put that information? So what's the group consensus? Would you take the whole chest? Would you take
I mean, Corrie would definitely be interested in like something like dark vision, given that he knows that is something that he lacks, but also like, wouldn't want to take an excess of it for himself. Like, he knows that he has a need of it, but like he wouldn't want 20 of them, sort of thing.
Okay, what if you guys took like 5 of each and left 15 of all the rest?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Okay, cool. So I will just edit the group load to say 5 of each.
Cool.
And then obviously, Rico, if you do, just put a little brackets -1 to any that you write into your spellbook, because that would just scroll. And as you guys, I mean, I'm assuming you're going to head back to town, take a long rest, do those things, and then just plot your future. I think that's a good place for us to end. We will come to the timeless tradition of MVPs, and before we do, I'd just like to say, Mark, it's very nice to have you on board.
Oh, thank you.
It's never easy to suddenly fit into a group that's well established, so it was a really enjoyable episode in that sense. And new year, new me, I will go first. I've got 4, but I'll pick the one first, which was, if the Death Priest sang you a ditty, would you let him take your soul? Was a particularly good line from Rico.
Damn, that was mine.
Yes. Cool. Who shall we begin with? I think we'll begin with Joe and work our way back to Mark at the end.
Well, just lots of money related conversation and feelings today. I think, what are the things I actually wrote down? Oh, even though it's not probably about like not wanting to pay, it was funny, Toothy. As soon as the dwarf said, like, "Are you the one here who's to pay?" It was like the fastest thing I think that Toothy has ever responded. That's not me. I don't think that was a green thing from Toothy, obviously, right? But it was just funny.
Josh.
I just want to echo what James said. You, Mark, you definitely fit in like really seamlessly. So good job, because I know that it can be difficult, like Jim said. I think my MVP goes to not only the introduction, and inclusion of Corrie, but also finding out his personal item so soon. I think you did a really good job, really describing what it is and how it works, and this kind of inner turmoil he has because he's not able to hear anything. I just think you did it really well.
That item is causing me all sorts of bane. I've spent many an evening lying in bed thinking, why doesn't Corrie hear the music?
So I have theories as to why it is,
do?
but
Great.
I'm
You're
not,
help me out,
I'm not decided on what to do.
There's a number of showers going.
Yep.
Is he deaf but hears telepathically? I have no idea. Jack.
That'd be cool. Yeah, it was I want to give one, I have two and one's for Mark, so I want to give one to Mark. That the quick checking what was in Boxxo's bag to be oh, just in case you didn't know, I sometimes steal shit. It was very seamless, into and not instantly getting one being oh well, no, this isn't cool. You handled that. You handled that. Everybody handled that very well.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say that Josh did really well at following up and going, wait, is that what you were doing in my pack? A good 45 minutes later, which is great. And your other one, Jack?
And then it's got to be Josh continuously. Anytime he gets an item that is oh, okay, I'm gonna use this item. You always have a little RP moment as to how it works and manifests, and you figure shit out and stuff like that. Just so cool, dude.
Oh, thank you. The demon skin, you asshole.
Oh yeah, cool. Yeah. Sorry, that happened now. That happened hours ago. I was trying to think of anything you used on the boat. No, the demon skin. Yeah, you're right.
Thank you.
Animal. Rico.
Yeah, I really enjoyed our introduction to Corrie. I thought it went really, really well. And my favorite moment during that conversation was when Pietro was just perhaps we leave the pilfering to a minimum, and then Joe stepped in without missing a beat, was just or perhaps you just don't steal from us.
yeah, always good. And Mark.
I loved when Toothy was hearing the music and immediately afterwards it was well, yeah, we'll take Corrie west and he can hear it in real life and he can see the dance and do the thing. Just the immediate moment that Toothy was just well, I need to show you this thing and then you'll know how amazing it is.
Yeah, and I'm gonna follow that up with one of my MVPs because I've got 4 or 5 left because you guys let me have them all. You called it a corroboree, is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a traditional dance and ceremony.
But what made me laugh is that you stumbled over the word the second time, and you called it a co-robbery. There was a moment, and there was this, you went through a robbery to later on, you and I can do a co-robbery, and I was that gave me a little chuckle. You guys were there was a welcome thing. It was he doesn't have any of this or that. I can't remember what the two things were. But basically, you turned around and went, he doesn't have any health. Oh, you said because he doesn't have a beer, we couldn't drink to his health. And somebody said he doesn't have any health either. And then there was a moment where I think, Mark, I gave you a D6 of this, when you asked Toothy if he was an elf. That gave me a great laugh. And Vel'zekiss then followed up with, I'm an elf. Which is the whole silly moment. Jack with, that's a goanna. When Toothy disappeared. There was also a moment where Pietro, you said you looked like the Rock. I assumed you meant a rock. But I just had this image of you. I'm camouflaged because I'm Dwayne Johnson. Which is great. So yeah, overall just a really fun session. But the biggest MVP for me is I love it when I get the chance to just take my hands off the reins and go, these guys are going to talk in the tavern for 2 hours. That is, it doesn't happen with every table. It doesn't happen all that often that there's enough to say in roleplay, but when it does, it's such a wonderful thing as a DM to experience, especially when you keep referencing things you've been given within the world. It's so rewarding for me as a DM, so I'm so grateful for you guys for making it the whole session like that.
Also, I'm very excited to see if we ever find out what everyone else was hearing.
Oh.
Yes, I'm
Oh.
really looking forward to that being a thing over the course of the next 2 weeks, I was hoping.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm glad that it wasn't done only in one moment. Very brief note. You can have 75 experience points. Isn't that nice? Don't add those yet because I'm about to give you 2 lots. 75 XP for finding out about the woodcarvers and his job, grandfather, and 150 XP for finding the crate of scrolls, which, by the way, was a DC 22 investigation check.
Hey.
And Rico smashed it. So yeah, I think that's a total of 225. Is that right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Which should leave you guys at
8,585.
8585. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Beautiful. And on that happy note, that's where we're going to end. So if you guys would like to say goodbye,
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
we shall see you soon.